Hello, YouTube. Can you hear me? Can you see me? How is everybody? Oh my God. I swear my screen keeps going black. It's happened like 5 times, and then I thought I'm going to have to reset it. And then it came back on, so I went live, and now it's gone black again. Oh, bloody fantastic. I haven't even touched anything or moved anything, so alright, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can wiggle some wires. Yeah, I'm going to have to change something, I think. Right. Yeah, because this setup, I don't think it's working out. It's doing this too often. Right, let's try and... Oh, I'm back. This is so weird. You know what? If this is going to happen throughout the live, it's going to stress me the fuck out. Honestly. Okay. Anyway. Should we just carry on and hope for the best? Let's see who's here. We have Martin, we have Jason, we have Sabby Coops, we have Bretta Barnes, we have Nilf, we have Chip, we have lots of awesome people. Benzo, Kaz, hello, awesome vegans. Who else have we got? Oh, we have Ewan. I think Ewan's going to join us today, guys, on the panel. Ewan is my friend from the real world, and yeah, I think he's asked if he can come on the panel. I said yes. Obviously, I want to empower activists to do what they can, so yeah, that's going to be good. As long as I'm not freaking out over tech issues. Right. Hello, Louis. But yeah, so it'll be on TikTok. You'd have to join, Ewan. Who else we got? Oh, Pia. Right, I said I was going to make you a mod, didn't I? Let me see. See about doing that. Add as moderator. Okay. Who else? Yes, no spamming nonsense in the chat. Spam privilege. She's late, panic. Oh my God. Yeah. It was because my screen kept going black and then coming back on. But I don't know, fingers crossed. Hopefully it's going to stay like this. And if not, we're all going to cry. Thank you, Lovey. Who else we got? We have VSL. Hello, welcome. Another dumb vegan. Hello. I think it's going to be a good stream today. It was... Oh, hang on. James is here. I need to remake you a mod, James, because where are you? Aha, here we go. Yes, if you don't mind, we had a lot of people spamming last week. So yeah, I'm gonna add you back as mod. Hello, B12 babe. Hello, VPM. Oh my gosh, we have loads of people here. Lots of awesome people. Who else? You got friends in real life. Some. Only a few. Only a small amount of people will tolerate me, Chip. I said you nilf. Yeah, so Renaissance. I'm hoping my stream will not be restricted this week. it was restricted last week because apparently I wasn't engaging enough. So I went live on TikTok and then I was like faffing around, getting the link, pasting it over onto YouTube. But yeah, because I was like silent, I don't know, I guess TikTok didn't like it and I didn't know. So yeah, I'm going to be really engaging as soon as I go live today. And look what I've got here to trigger all the kindness trolls. A big bowl of tofu. Look at that. So yeah, I'm just going to go live and start eating this. And also, I might play a game as well. So you guys know these like drinking games where it's like take a shot every time someone says something. Instead of that, I'm going to do that. But every time somebody says, or every time somebody commits a logical fallacy, I'm going to eat a piece of tofu. And we'll see how far I get down by the end of it. I think that'll be fun. Am I ready? Pia is the best mod. Awesome. Everyone's here. Who isn't here? I don't know. Oh, you know what? I'm scared to move. I'm scared to make sudden movements in case my screen goes off. Oh my days, it's the 40-year-old legend. Literally, everyone is here. Hi, David. Nilf, you need to pay better attention. Come on. You just want another shout out. That's what it is. Just say TikTok shop a lot, yeah. Big bowl of tofu. All non-vegans are trolls. Do you eat meat? Not from animals, no. That bowl is going to be done in the first 30 minutes. I might be sick. I mean, there's a lot of tofu there, but I ripped them up quite small. So Axel is missing. Someone have a word. Like literally everybody is here apart from Axel. Okay. Beth Rose, I do apologise, I didn't see you there. Renee and Alec do you mean Axel? Yes, I'm vegan, so I'm gonna go live. Let me see. I've done everything I need to do. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure on TikTok it's the same link every time. So I might paste it onto my checklist and then that way I can pin it before I go live. Yeah, Jake's here. Jake's not here, Jake Legatar. Okay, so yeah, we have a few mods on YouTube today. So yeah, I'll just address that before I go live because I don't want TikTok to condemn me again. So, yeah, mods, obviously any hate comments, offensive messages like racism, sexism, yeah, we don't obviously deal with stuff like that. Yeah, delete that. If somebody's being really disruptive, so if they're spamming, or if they're saying, you know, multiple messages that are hate speech, then yeah, I would put them in a timeout for the duration of the live so that they can't come back. So yeah, let's go live. So, engaging straight away today. So, hello TikTok. I am live on TikTok. Welcome, whoever comes in. It's weird being engaging at first when there's nobody here yet. Right, so I am going to get the link, and if you bear with me one moment, I'll tell you what we're going to do here. So let's see, shall we? TikTok. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same link both times. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste this onto my checklist. Oh, which I've just closed down. Okay, never mind. I'll do it next time. So hello to anybody who's joining on TikTok. Welcome to this very, very engaging live stream. And I'll tell you what we're going to do today. So I'm just pasting something. So if you bear with me 2 seconds, and I'm going to pin this. We're going to have some really cool chats with people. So join the live here. Okay. So today, everybody, hang on, pin. Today, everybody, we're going to learn why it's not good to inflict needless violence onto innocent beings. So yeah, I'm going to be having I mean, it sounds insane when I say it like that, right? We're going to learn why we should not discriminate against anybody based on the body that they're born into. We're going to learn about why we shouldn't take advantage of those who are more vulnerable than us. And also, I have a big bowl of tofu here. So I'm going to enjoy this. Anytime anyone commits a logical fallacy on my stream, I'm going to eat a piece of tofu, just so you know that you've done that. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to accept some guests up. And yeah, you do have to be over 18 to join the stream. So please do not request if you're under 18, but you're welcome to hang around and watch. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to pop them in the chat. And also, if anybody who joins, please be open-minded. Please be open to question your logic, question your morals. I'm not interested in talking to people who just want to come up to argue, or they just want to defend their position without being interested in learning anything new or changing. I'd like to speak to open-minded people. So, without further ado, let's carry on. No one cares, says Jacob. Well, I mean, you're here. Lots of people do care about animals. Why do you care enough to stay in the stream? Right, we're going to accept up Chip, and we're going to accept Ewan. Hello.
Hello. Can I say 2 things? First of all, everyone on TikTok, click on share, repost, and then share at the story. It helps push the stream along. And also, everything that is natural is good. That's a logical fallacy.
Oh my
Does
God.
that mean you have? So it's also if we commit it, okay.
Every time I hear one, I'm going to have to. And yeah, I think by the end of this stream, I'm going to be pretty full. So
also a lot of protein, eh? So good.
A lot of protein. Hello, Ewan.
Hey, Gemma, you all right?
Yeah, you?
Okay. Yeah, I've never done one of these before, so excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, if I know you're new to TikTok, right?
I mean, literally today. But
Okay.
yeah, I've got to use Instagram, but I know we're only saying on the live. And there's another one, but I can't remember what it is.
Okay. Yeah, TikTok's a bit special. So yeah, we can't say certain words, or well, we try and avoid saying certain words. So yeah, you'll get used to it. But it instead of you say grape, I hope that makes sense. Instead of you say unalive, it's just because it might flag on TikTok and then it gets taken down. It's like really funny about languages. So, yeah, also anybody who's up on the panel. So obviously I'll accept guests. If they say anything like really outlandish, I will just drop them. But yeah, you guys are welcome to jump in and join in the conversation or add anything or ask any questions anytime you want. But before I do drop people, I'll usually just ask, does anyone else want to add anything or take over? But yeah, I mean, we could even do a couple where somebody else starts the conversation as well and, you know, tries some different things. I'm open to that. So
Yeah. Jacob is being pretty emphatic about telling us he doesn't care, which is ironic.
I mean, for somebody who doesn't care, you sure care enough to write enough comments, Jacob. Why don't you come on and have a chat with us? So we have another vegan here as well. Yeah, it's good. Looks like the live stream is off to a good start as well. Last week I was having a bit of a nightmare, but yeah. So guys, if you want to have a conversation, then please do request. Again, you've got to be over 18. But yeah, we'll have a chat about why you're not vegan, right? Shall I get? There's another vegan I could get on the panel as well. Tano Vegano. Maybe, but maybe I'll have this one as the limit, just because I don't want to put anyone off from joining and being overwhelmed by the amount of people on the panel.
Hello.
Hey Tano, you alright?
Yes, I'm good. What about you?
Not too bad, thank you. So we
You
just
can drop me if you need to. You can just drop me
okay.
afterwards.
Yeah, I'll just say as well, if anybody needs to go, you're welcome to just jump off the panel. You don't have to tell me or anything. I won't be offended. And also, if you're in like a noisy area, Ewan, you can just mute yourself, and then when you want to talk, you can just unmute. But if there's no background noise or anything, I'm not that fussed about it. So, okay, let's go. So first we have Zach Ward Boxing. Hey
Hello.
Zach, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So first, sorry, can we just
Yeah, go
clarify
on.
what your understanding is of veganism first of all?
Yes, if you don't eat meat, you just eat plants and stuff like that, right?
Well, that's a consequence of being vegan, but it all stems from the principle that we should live without exploiting other animals. So, of course, that means that we don't eat them or anything that comes out of them, but also we wouldn't use them for fashion or entertainment or any other purpose where we can avoid doing so. Does that make sense?
But plants are also alive and they grow, so...
Sorry,
how
Zach,
can
does
you
that make
put one
sense?
thing-
Yeah, I'm
it
talking.
does, yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about the exploitation of sentient beings. So, do you think
Okay,
that
well,
we should
that's
respect
because-
other animals?
I think we should respect it. Like, if there's a thing that is alive and it grows, why should it have less respect than something else?
Well,
Like,
you'd only
try-
really
trying
need
to say-
respect if you're sentient, right?
Yeah, but it's like trying to say a child has more rights over a cow when they're both a sentient, right?
No, I think that they both deserve the right not to be exploited when we can avoid doing so.
But so the plants.
Okay, well, you can hold that position if you want. It would still be in favour of veganism since less plants are used
Also,
and
there's
unalived on a vegan diet.
There's another
Quick
thing to
question
this.
you, Zach.
How many meats kill you and are actually... you
Sorry,
can't eat them?
unalived,
There's a lot of plants out there that will
unalived,
kill
because
you
we're
if
on
you eat 'em.
TikTok.
But there is a lot of plants out there that if you eat them, they'll kill you because they are...
Don't eat them then.
Don't go down that. Yeah, Zach, don't go down that path because red meat gives you colorectal cancer, which is the second highest mortality cause, and white meat gives you gastrointestinal cancer. So don't go down that path because
Yeah,
that's
but
not
that's
the
a
point.
small percent of
Yeah,
eaters. I'm
sure,
saying that
sure.
every single person that eats
Sure,
these plants
yeah.
will die. Every
Oh,
single person
no.
that eats a plant that is poisonous will die. Not every
Yeah.
person that eats red
Yeah,
meat.
So don't eat
and
the.
sorry, Zach, there are also certain animals that if you eat, you will be unalived. So what's your point?
Like what? Can you give me...
Like venomous and poisonous animals. But anyway,
Okay, yeah.
you said that we should be respecting other animals and plants. And again, you can hold that position because, like I said, if you live vegan, then less plants will be used and less plants will be unalived anyway. Okay.
But what about all of the wildlife that gets killed every year to grow
Yeah,
these crops?
again, less wildlife because less crops are grown.
But what
for
about all the
vegans.
bees which everybody needs to stay alive?
We're just playing vegan bingo here. I'm sure I should have probably eaten about 5 pieces of tofu right now.
But there's millions of bees every single year that get killed. Do you know what happens if every single bee dies?
Zach,
All of us die.
Zach. So instead of just going down this nonsense path that you're going
It's
down.
not a nonsense path, though.
Sure. But Zach, instead of going down this nonsense path, do you think you can engage with the idea? Let's imagine, hypothetically speaking, that everything else would be the same, right? You don't have to believe that it's true. But just imagine that everything else is the same. All else is the same. You could either choose to exploit an animal or not, and everything else would be the same. Which one would be the right choice?
You're choosing which ones you want to
Sure, Zach. Sure.
Because what about all of the voles and all of the bees and all of the bugs?
Zach. Sure.
But you don't
the question
think of them.
Yeah, sure. Zach.
One little.
Yeah. Sure.
Zach, can you listen for a minute?
Yes, which I have listened.
No, you need to.
Which would I choose? But both of them kill animals.
Okay,
Animals.
and we're going to address that if you'll listen, okay? If you're just going to talk and you're not going to listen, then there's no point, right? You'll never learn anything.
Yeah, but you're not listening to a thing that I say.
I've listened to everything that you said, and I've heard the argument a million times, Zach.
You can't say that vegans means there's no death to sentient
I didn't. Nobody said that. Nobody has said that.
Okay, so
but
what's the point then?
If you calm down and listen, okay, we can address this, okay, as we have done a million times. Sorry, Chip, were you talking?
Yeah, so Zach, we can address all that, and I promise you will address it. I'm just curious to see if at least when all these things are addressed, and all these things are put on the side. So imagine that the issue is equal on both sides, right? Imagine you could say you either oppress an animal or you don't oppress an animal, and you get the exact same result when it comes to everything else. Your nutrition and everything around the world. Like you said, animals being unalived in crop production and all that, right? So let's imagine that on both sides it's equal. But on one side you exploit an animal, on the other you don't. Which one is the right choice?
But is it a exploitation if those are getting looked after? Which, let's face it, if there wasn't on farms, there'd be out and there won't be none left because they'd be hunted.
Zach,
because cows have got no way to protect themselves, and neither is most of the other things that we eat.
So Zach, okay, so just to be clear, I'm not even saying that farming animals is exploitation. So put even that on the side. I'm asking you, if you had the choice between exploiting an animal or not exploiting an animal, and both achieve the same result, which one would be the better choice?
Both ways do it, though.
I'm not asking you, Zach, in this scenario that I'm asking you, I'm telling you one exploits an animal and one doesn't.
Both of them do. Both of them, to be a vegan or not, both of them do the same thing.
No.
I'm not sure that Zach
you
is able
literally
to answer a question.
destroy homes of insects and everything else. How is that?
Zach, so I didn't even bring up veganism or anything else. I just said to you that there's two options that are in front of you. I never said the word vegan. I never said anything else. I said everything else is equal, and there's two options in front of you. One option exploits an animal, and one doesn't. You achieve exactly the same result.
That makes sense because that's the only one that everybody does.
So Zach, which one is the right choice? You either exploit an animal or you don't.
Okay.
So which one is the right choice?
The one where you don't, but that's not the case though, is it?
Okay. So Zach, you see, the fact that you answered the one that you don't, it seems that we do have something common because I believe so too. So now the only thing is the information around it, right? Because for you, what you believe right now is that somehow there still are bad things happening on the vegan side, and there still are bad things happening on the meat side. But if you found out that the bad things happening on the meat sides are far worse and far more, like I don't even know, more, I don't know how you say, more, than on the vegan side, like for example, when it comes to crop deaths, we make way more crops to feed to the animals, therefore there are more crop deaths. So if you found out that there are more of that on the non-vegan side, on top of the animal exploitation, you add also more animals being unalived. So you see, you're always in this position where the vegan side is the one that exploits less animals, does better for the world. We're not saying that it's perfect. We're just saying it's the better choice.
Which makes sense, yeah.
That's all it is. So that's all it is. So why not be vegan then if it makes sense to you? Because you can be vegan today. You
Because
can
we
choose
need
the
to
better
control the
choice.
population of cows because they contribute 1.8 to 3 tons of CO2 each year. So if we let all of them
Yeah.
free and they mass produce, it's a lot of toxic gas, right?
They are bred to
How
existence to be
do we control
exploited.
that?
Yeah. So Zach,
To existence to be exploited.
yeah, these animals don't reproduce on their own. If they did reproduce on their own, they wouldn't
What
be
do you
in the
mean they
numbers that
don't
they are.
reproduce on their own?
They don't. They don't, Zach. I know you want
Of
to
course they
believe
do.
that, but no. In the
Of course they
reality,
do.
Zach. In the reality, these animals are forced to reproduce, or we force reproduce
Are
them
you stupid,
ourselves.
mate? Like,
Zach, don't
I don't
hang on a
get
minute.
this.
Hang on. Let's be respectful, right? What Chip is
Yeah, but
trying to
how can you
what Chip
say that
Zach
cows do not
Zach
naturally
Zach Zach Zach
reproduce?
Zach. Please listen
It's
for a
just false,
second.
though, isn't it?
No, it's not. If you're open to listening and you're open to learning, we can explain this. So you've just committed a false dichotomy because what you're saying is if we don't breed them into existence, then they're going to go out and they're going to reproduce and they're going to create all of this methane or CO2 or whatever. But that's not the case because these animals only exist because they're being farmed.
Are you what?
Their populations
they've
are
got
controlled by us. They're domesticated animals.
exactly.
In most cases, yeah, in most cases, they're either reproduced by artificial insemination or the bulls because the farmers let the bull in with the cow when they want them to get pregnant. It's not like we're
Yeah,
going
but
to
if they let
release
all
all
of the
these
bulls
cows.
go to be
No,
free and all the
we
cows
would
free,
not
the
do that,
bulls will
Zach.
just do. Of course, it will.
Zach, that would be incredibly irresponsible. Why would we let all these domesticated animals into the wild to fend for themselves?
Well,
We've bred them into a position where they rely on us.
if we did not eat them, then who would fund it to look after them?
I mean, if you keep Zach, Zach, if you keep it up, that bowl of tofu is gonna go pretty fast because everything you're saying is fallacious. I'm sorry, Zach.
Yeah,
But
I've
That's the
been.
question, though, right? So,
I've,
if all of us right now stop eating meat, who pays to look after these cows and everything else?
if
I can
every
answer that question
Where's it come
easily.
from?
So Zach, it's simple. Right now, we subsidize animal agriculture. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. We heavily subsidize animal agriculture. If we stop subsidizing animal agriculture and we would have more than enough money, with even I think a quarter of that money, so we would get 75% of the money back, and we would use the remaining 25% to take care of the animals that are there.
But don't you think that cash comes from the tax from the ones that actually eat and buy the meat in the first place?
Yeah, so Zach, I explained to you what
But if we
happens.
all
I'm not
stop
interested in
eating
discussing the
meat,
economical. I'm not interested in discussing the socio-economical aspect of how we get the money, where the tax comes from. It's a
but
little
you
bit more
just was
complex than
then when you were
saying it
talking about
comes
this.
from one port to another. Because the way the tax dollars are spent, the way the budget is decided once a year, and for you to say, well, this comes from the money of the people of, it's a little bit irresponsible and a little bit overly simplistic. So
But it's not though.
but either way, Zach, you choosing to adopt a plant-based diet would not mean that the whole world adopts a plant-based diet. It would just mean that some animals out there are no longer be exploited. So
But
how
there's
on earth
some
will you?
that aren't now.
Some that are exploited right now specifically for you, and some will no longer be exploited specifically for you. So why
Okay,
not?
but there's more
Why?
bees that do. There's one less cow, but there's 1,000 more bees that do.
No, Zach.
What's the difference?
The thing about bees, I understand that you've been told that, but that's not true because, as I
Yes, it is
told you,
true.
we grow
It's
a
well
lot more.
documented.
Zach, we grow a lot more plants to feed to the animals. So any form of pollination that you think happens, obviously happens also in the production of animal products. And either way, the bees. By the way, if your concern is with the bees, all vegans are against exploitation of bees also. So therefore, if everyone in the world was vegan, as you just pointed out, then we wouldn't be exploiting bees. In fact, there will be more wild bees and bees would have a better time and there would be more bees. So your argument is nonsensical because we don't stand for that. You're just mix matching this idea that, well, there's somebody who exploits bees for the production of these foods. Yeah, because they're not vegan. If they were vegan, they wouldn't do that.
Do you know how much hedgerow we've lost to make more farmland in this country in the last 40 years? To make more farmland, to grow more crops, we're using hedgerows and everything else.
Zach. So, Zach, what kind of farmland are we chopping down hedges to produce?
Just look it up; it's out there.
No, you tell me. You're making the claim. You're making the claim. I'm asking you a clarifying question about that claim. If you're making a claim, then provide more information about it.
1 second.
You can't just make a claim and then be like, "Oh, look it up." No, you're telling me it's the burden of proof is on you.
A mile has been lost since 1945.
Yeah. For what kind of farming? For what kind of farming?
50% of the country's hedgerows.
Okay.
50% of the country's hedgerows have gone to make more farmland.
For what kind of farmland? For animal agriculture? That grows crops to feed animals? Yeah, so go vegan then, and we can reduce the amount of farmland. The largest study ever conducted, Zach.
But we still need to feed them, or else we're just going to starve them. And how's that?
No,
not work?
we'll stop. We won't breed as many of them into existence, so we won't need to feed them.
Okay, but what about why there's all of these here now that are pregnant and in calf and everything else? If we stop using them, we're just going to get more.
Yeah, that's not how supply and demand works, Zach.
Of course it is.
No, it's not.
You don't wait until you need a cow to get a cow pregnant.
Yeah, I think I'm done here. If Ewan or Tano or Chip wants to ask anything or add anything, because I don't know.
Zach,
it just seems like he's not interested in learning anything and wants to.
I've literally put facts right in front of you.
Zach,
one of them down.
Sure, Zach. It just sounds like you're a little bit like down this rabbit hole of misinformation. You bought one aspect of it, you believe it. You didn't actually look into the actual studies, the actual scientific consensus. You believe this nonsense, and it will harm you.
Where have you looked to get all of your facts from?
So I can explain for you. For example, when it comes to the land usage,
that's not what I've asked you. I've asked you, where did you get your information from that's factual? Because you just said I've not got mine from facts. So where have you got yours from?
Zach,
that's what I'm trying to explain.
What kind of information would you like to know where we got that from? You tell us. We've made some claims.
About there'd be more bees if all of us turn to plants.
Yeah, the IPCC. Do you know the reports of the IPCC? Is the Intergovernmental Panel for Climate Change?
Yeah, but they're the same ones that said it's got hotter for the past how long, when really we're just going through a normal cycle.
When did they say that? In which report?
I won't be able to tell you without trying.
So Zach, instead of going down this path of saying, well, they did or something, maybe get informed from the IPCC. They do have pretty good information, and their reports are very long, but they do have summaries of the reports, and you can look at that. They make a report almost every year, and they discuss all of these global issues, because they are global issues, and they discuss them in detail there. And they do have a particular report, which half of it is about plant-based diets and the diets. And in that report, they explain a lot of the stuff, including they mention the studies that justify or don't justify why a plant-based diet is better. The only aspect of plant-based diets which they don't encapsulate is, and if you just so that I show that I'm in good faith, is they say that the socioeconomic factor of a plant-based diet, of everyone adopting a plant-based diet, is very hard to assess. And then there might be people who would have issue with losing some of their culture or some of their tradition. But this has nothing to do with the aspect, with the facts and the aspects of the world would be a better place in all regards for everyone if everyone adopts a plant-based diet. So I just urge you to get more informed, Zach, because everything you're saying is just stuff that you probably heard on a podcast or somewhere on a short.
Also, have they took into account the fact it's rained one time in the last 3 months in this country? Do you not think that all
Zach, they take into
crop growth?
account a lot. Zach, they take into account a lot more than you and I can
Yeah, but they
account
haven't. They
for.
have. They haven't took into account the fact it's rained one time in 3 months in this country.
They
That
take into
means
account,
we can
Zach.
grow less crops because everywhere hasn't got enough water.
Zach, these are climate scientists. They take into account a lot more than you and I can. They don't just take into account the weather, they take into account the climate forecast, the standard model of the climate forecast, the changes in the standard model. They take into account a lot more than what you and I can take into account, Zach, when they make these conclusions.
Yeah, but surely you have to agree that when it does not rain in 3 months, the crops and our amount of crop we get will be a lot less.
So therefore also less animals, because animals are fed crops. So
Yeah,
if
but that
crops
means
are
then we
less, we
need
have less
twice
of
as much
everything.
farmland to produce the same amount of food.
Okay, and I don't know what to tell you more, Zach. I think you should look into the information.
And also, if you look at it, cows also get fed on stuff that comes back like a waste product from
What do you think, guys? Should we move on?
ox and stuff like that.
Does
Yeah,
anyone
I
want to?
think so.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think the climate
A
science.
lot of cow
is
food
not
actually comes
interested.
from stuff that cannot be used.
Zach, you're not interested in the life of the animals, so you're trying to find any excuse to keep doing what you're doing to them, and that's all you did
Yeah.
during the time he was here.
It's
He
a
did not
shame.
talk about the animals once.
Yeah, it's a shame though, really, because I mean, obviously we're all here to talk about the animals, but it seems like all Zach is interested in doing is like bashing on veganism and trying to disprove veganism or something, rather than being open to learning more and having an honest conversation about what we're here to discuss. So I don't know. I don't think that Zach was here in good faith, but I mean, it was interesting, and I got to eat some tofu, so I've still got quite a lot left. So anybody who comes up, if you commit a logical fallacy, for every logical fallacy, I will eat a piece of tofu. So let's get the next one. We've got quite a few requests. Next we have Brandon. Oh, Brandon's gone. Okay, let's move on. We've got Noah.
Yo.
Are you over 18? I'll take that as a no. Roy. Hey Roy, are you over 18?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your understanding of veganism? You good?
Sorry, I was just choking on a chicken nugget.
Okay. Are you here to be childish, or are you here to have an honest conversation? Because I'd like to talk to you. Okay. So I'll take that as meaning, right, that you absolutely have no arguments as to why you're not vegan. Because if that's all you can come up with, then it's pretty weak. So, yeah, you guys, when you do stuff like that, it just proves that you have no actual intelligent argument against veganism. Thank you very much.
Because there isn't one.
No. OAA. OAA, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. What is your understanding of veganism?
Is that people that don't eat meat?
So that is a consequence of being vegan. Why do you think that a vegan might do that?
Might do what, sorry?
Might avoid eating the flesh of an animal.
Because they feel the animal.
Okay, so veganism is the ethical principle that we should live without exploiting other animals, which means that we don't want to use them for our own purposes, so not for their flesh, eggs, breast milk, or for any other purpose, so for fashion or entertainment or transport or anything anywhere that we can avoid doing so. Do you think that we should be respecting other animals?
I mean, yeah, I think so, but
Okay.
yeah, I think so, yeah.
Do you think that it's possible to truly respect them whilst at the same time using them for our purposes? So using them as a resource?
But I mean, what are their purpose?
Well,
For us,
okay.
depends on the animal. If it's a cow.
So you think that we can
Go on.
respect some animals whilst using them for our purposes, but not others? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, the way I grew up, we eat some types of animals, and
Okay,
I'm religious, so our mortality, our mortal, we got it from God, and God says you can eat some type of animals, and some you can use them as transportation, whatever.
Okay. So my question is, can we really respect somebody whilst at the same time using them as a resource? So let me ask OAA, I'll make it a bit simpler. If somebody was using you as their resource, would that be respectful?
But I don't think you can compare an animal to a human.
I'm asking if it would be respectful. We can get into that. If you just answer the question.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It's not respectful. Okay. So then
not every question is a yes or no.
Okay, well it is. You can like expand on why you think that. So why wouldn't it be respectful for somebody to use you as their resource, but it is respectful for you to use other animals as your resource?
Again, I use God as
so
way to
OAA,
do stuff.
just to clarify,
God
so
say,
so
of course that's violence because you're using human being to human being.
OAA, do you know any animals?
Do I know any animals?
Any non-human animals?
What do you mean?
As in, do you take care of any animals in your home?
No, to be honest.
Or do you know have you known animals in the past and got to know what they're like?
No, to be honest, but I've been in a farm, but like a pet or something, no.
Right, but you acknowledge that animals have unique personalities, right? And that they have their feeling and they are sentient and they have the will to live. Is that right?
Can you tell me the personality of a cow?
What do you mean? I mean, I can acknowledge that some cows are more bold and others are more shy. Some are more trusting, and some, if they've had some kind of negative experience, such as living on a farm, for example, will develop sort of symptoms of something that is like PTSD. So you can acknowledge that there is someone behind their eyes, right, who is experiencing the world.
I mean, I don't know how to answer this question, but
It's more of, do you acknowledge this as just objective fact?
look, for us, we didn't see like a cow has any purpose except to be eaten. But can I ask you? Can I ask a question? Like, what's the purpose of a cow or a
Wait,
sheep?
but you were asked a simple thing. Do you acknowledge that cows have personalities?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, how would you define a personality?
I mean, you asked me a question. I said no.
Okay, how would you define a personality?
You're going far deep.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
I don't speak that much of English. And
sure. But how would you define a personality? If you say a cow doesn't have one, how would you define if they have one so that we understand if they have one or not? Like, how would you know if they have one? How would you identify it if you don't know what a personality is?
I mean, could a cow communicate with other cow and? I mean,
which they can, yeah.
Which they can.
Okay, so can you at least acknowledge that they have feelings?
I mean, yeah, we know that.
So what other, for example, what other traits would a non-human animal need? What would they have to prove to you in order for you to respect them as not just an object, as not just your food, but as someone with feelings? What trait would they have to show to you in order for you to respect that about them?
I don't know, as I've told you, I grew up, and that says the only purpose of an animal, cow, is to be eaten. That's how I grew up.
Yeah,
And
but
I don't believe they have a personality. And as I told you, could they
Yeah.
communicate with each other? And I think you skipped that question.
Yeah, well, they grow up. The thing is, I grew up the same way, so I can also acknowledge that most of us are not born vegan. But then, if you start to look at more objective facts, you can acknowledge that animals objectively do have feelings, do communicate with one another, and do have their own inner experience of the world. So, as we grow up, we can also learn to, not just blindly accept the things we were told as a child, because that's part of what adulthood is. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can accept that other animals do have feelings, do have personalities, even though that feels contrary to what you were told as a child.
I mean, yes.
Okay.
But as I've said, I'm religious, and I don't know. Like, you're asking a question that there is no answer for it. Like,
Does your religion allow you to be vegan? Does it require you to not to exploit animals? Or does it not?
no, it does not.
Okay, so if we've got that suspended, so it's not a requirement for you to exploit animals, and that leaves you with the free will to decide, do you want to be someone who is compassionate towards others?
Yeah, but I will be deficient in a lot of nutrition.
Just quickly answer the question. Do you think it's important that you be compassionate to others, even if your God has not directly commanded you to do so?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's important to take into account the experiences of others. It doesn't matter whether they're human or non-human, because human is not an important trait when it comes to whether or not someone can feel.
I mean, I respect animal. Before we slaughter them, we have to respect them. If not, then that's not our way.
Would you consider it respectful if, let's just say, someone gives you a really good life, you're bred into existence, and you have a fantastic life? Would you consider it respectful if, for that whole time, the only reason they were being kind to you or doing anything good for you was to eventually kill you painlessly? Or would you feel that was still disrespectful, right?
Yes, because I'm a human.
Well, it's not because you're a human, right? It's because you had a vested interest in continuing to live.
No, for us, because we are human, we're different
It's because of our species. Is that it? That's the only reason why it's not respectful to kill someone.
I don't understand what you're trying to reach.
What I'm trying to say is, what is it about being human that is so special and unique? It means it's not respectful to kill us under any circumstances, but it's totally fine and respectful to do that to all other living beings on the planet, despite the fact that we have a vast array of shared qualities.
For me, what makes the difference between a human and an animal, as I've said, is God and how God commanded me. That's it. I don't have any other reason, to be honest.
So your only reason is because God has told you that?
Yes.
Right. I mean...
Yeah, we're not gonna go anywhere. It seems like OA would do anything that God
Yeah,
tells
exactly.
him to do.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so OA, if your God told you to grape somebody, would you do that?
Again, what if? Again with that what if questions?
Yeah, if your God told you to grape somebody,
No,
but
it
if your
doesn't say
God
that.
told you, sure, but you don't know what your God will tell you. If you did say that, that would be incredibly disrespectful towards your God. You assuming that you know better than God.
No,
So if your
God for
God
us
told you
said,
to grape somebody, would you?
I don't answer what if. Because
you've been answering hypotheticals this whole time, OAA, and all of a sudden now you don't want to. No, sorry, we're done.
I've
we're
never
not talking with
questioned.
somebody who's not willing to answer a hypothetical. It's pointless.
Really hard to discuss with religious people because it's just they always resort to God, and I'm just like, it's nothing. You can't substantiate anything. It's just like, yeah.
Also, their argument can't be applied objectively because I always ask them, okay, well, if somebody else's God said that it was okay for you to be exploited, would that be okay? And they say no. So why is it okay when you're the oppressor but not when you're the victim? Like it's not a position that they can that applies in both situations. So, yeah. But anyway, I missed quite a bit of that because... Sorry,
a big case of human supremacy as well. Like he was always going back saying, "I'm a human, I'm a human, I'm a human." That makes no sense, you know.
Yeah, no, I missed quite a bit of that because my app crashed and not TikTok, OBS that I stream through. And yeah, I was trying to get it sorted. So thank you guys for running the show while I was sorting that out. So yeah, I might have missed some logical fallacies, but yeah, we've still got some tofu left. So let's carry on. Next we have shush. When it loads, shush, are you over 18?
No, but
okay. Well, you can't be up here then. You can ask a question in the chat and you're welcome to hang out here. But yeah, you're not allowed on the panel. Rebby. Oh, Rebby's been spamming in the chat. So
I was just trying to. There's a lot of people posting. I wanted you to see.
Okay. First, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 20. It's about to be 28.
Okay. And can we just clarify what your understanding is of veganism before we go any further?
Basically, that y'all believe that any eating or using of animal parts or like honey and things like that is exploitive, and that you shouldn't do it. And so,
well, it's not that we believe that that's exploitative, because I mean it is. If you're using somebody against their interests, that's exploitation. It's that we want to oppose and reject animal exploitation. Does that make sense?
I would. It does make sense. I would disagree that animal agriculture is inherently exploitive. I think that I can agree with you on factory farming and stuff like that, like the scale of it that we're at today.
So, what do you understand exploitation to be then?
I mean, it would really be a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things would be exploitative in a sense. I don't know exactly how to define it, but there's.
Well, you said my definition's wrong, so you must have some idea of what your understanding of exploitation is to say that my definition is wrong.
Here's an example. I used to raise goats for milk.
Yeah.
I gave them food, shelter, protection from predators, et cetera, and all I needed back from them in exchange was the surplus milk. They still got all their the baby goats got the milk all day, separate them at night, and then I got first milk in the morning. Besides that, they got food, shelter, protection from predators, medical care.
When did they accept that, Rebby? When did they accept any of that?
I bought them.
Yeah, so you forced them into a situation that's inherently unfair, and exploitation implies unfairness. Unfairness is a part of exploitation, and it sounds like you acknowledge that it is unfair. Even though you treat them in the way that you think it's good for them, it is still unfair because they never chose that life.
Is it unfair that you have to work a job?
Rebbe, it might be unfair, yeah, but if I'm faced with a position where I have to force somebody to work, or I can choose to not force somebody to work for exactly the same thing, then obviously the right choice would be to choose to not force them to work. Because right now, what we're explaining to you is that you're in a position right now where you can either choose to exploit an animal or not, and you're choosing to exploit them.
I kind of disagree on having people work, but.
Rebbe, would you consider it exploitation, just as an analogy? Let's just say, you have a human child, and, they are given everything they need, which is food, shelter, water, and all of that. If someone was also using them for their labor, would you consider that exploitative, even if they're receiving some sort of reward for that?
It depends on to the degree. They shouldn't be worked to the bone, but, kids should work.
Right. Even though they can't? That's crazy.
I worked when I was a kid. It's good for you.
Wait, are you saying we should force... Are you for child labor, Rebbe?
So kids shouldn't play?
No, I'm saying it depends on the degree. Obviously you shouldn't have kids in factories and stuff like that. Kids should be able to...
Okay, shall we move on? Because that's absurd. Yeah, sorry, if you're in favour of child labour, I don't want you up here. I mean, we've got a lot of people requesting anyway, so we'll just carry on. Wow, what a position.
I hope he's not a teacher or something like this.
I know. Dreamy, are you over 18?
Yeah.
You are, okay.
Oh, this guy was also yesterday on Vegans on a Lady stream, by the way.
Oh, really? Is it worth having the conversation or no?
I don't really remember what he's saying. Just tread lightly. So if you think he's going down that direction, you can kick him fast.
Okay, so Dreamy, you should, if you've been on VSL's stream, you should be familiar with the understanding of what the understanding of veganism is. So yeah, what does it mean to be vegan?
Wait, give me a second. Yeah, so it's veganism is when you just when you eat a plant, when you live on a plant-based diet, you know, it could be because of different reasons why you do that. So yeah, that's what.
Holy crap!
Well, it's all no, yeah. It's all based on the same reason, because we don't want to exploit other animals, so we want to respect them. Of course, that means that we don't use them for their flesh or anything that comes out of their bodies, or for entertainment or fashion.
Why?
Or any other purpose, because it's exploiting them. It's not in their interests, and we don't have to. I just told you.
Why? No, but why?
Gonna keep repeating
why aren't you doing that?
Oh, I think he's the type of person who says where are your morals coming from? Are you not, Dreamy?
No. I don't care about morals. I'm just asking why.
Yeah,
them for flesh?
Like I said, because it's against their interests and we don't need to. Is that not an answer?
Okay, but it's not against your interests, is it?
Yes.
Do you think it's important others generally speaking, or are you someone who thinks that there is no morality?
I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear you.
I said, do you think it's important to respect the interests of others even if there's no personal benefit to be obtained from that?
I wouldn't say so.
Right, so do you reject morality as a whole?
I do, in fact, yeah.
Oh my God. So if it was up to you, Dreamy, we'd live in a world where there's no laws and everyone can do whatever they want without consideration for any victim.
I wish.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's absurd. So let's move on.
Ones, aren't we?
Thank you for exposing yourself. Yeah, guys, don't be like that. What a mad world we would live in if everybody was like that. Chris Gullett, are you over 18?
Hi. Yes, I am 25.
Okay. What's your understanding of veganism?
From what I understand, it is living on a plant-based diet and not exploiting animals, like using any products from them like wool, or anything from them like feathers, eating meat, dairy, eggs, stuff like that.
Sure. Okay. Do you think that we should respect other animals?
I do.
Okay. And do you think that we can respect them whilst at the same time using them as our resources?
I think to some degree. I think it depends with some animals. Like, for instance, like sheep, like their wool, if it's not sheared, like they can overheat and it can actually become very dangerous.
Sure. So let's say we bred a certain human into existence with a deformity, right, where they would grow to be really hairy and it was uncomfortable for them. They couldn't cut it themselves, so they had to depend on somebody else to care for them, and then that person would exploit them for their hair and they would take it off them. So the only reason that they exist is because their exploiter wants to use them for what their body produces. Would that be respectful in that situation?
I think in that situation, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do you think it would be respectful in the context of it happening to a sheep but not a human? Because you can equalize both situations. The exact same thing is happening to the sheep. So they're being bred with this deformity where they can't naturally shed their own wool. So we're giving them a problem, right? And then we're saying, well, it's not exploitation because we're resolving the problem, when we actually put them in that position in the first place.
Okay, yeah. Like, I think with sheep, like, if they're not being bred to, like, just do that, like, if you're living with sheep and, like, you care for them and are taking care of them and love them, like they're a part of your family and stuff like that. Like it should be okay. Because again, with heat, like it can get really bad for them. I'll do some research, see if there's any like with wool textures and stuff, because I am interested in learning this stuff.
Yeah, so that wouldn't be against their interest. So let's say you've got a sanctuary and you've rescued these sheep from the wool industry or from industries who are exploiting them, or they're going to use them for their flesh. You bring them to your sanctuary where they're safe. Shearing them is in the best of their interests, right? If they can't shed their own wool. So yeah, it would be important to shear them because we want them to be comfortable, but we wouldn't be exploiting them for their wool because we would be acting in their interests. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. But my question comes from, like, what do we do with the wool after it's been sheared in that case? Like, because I think it's also bad to waste stuff. So I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts with that?
Okay, so if you're like on a sanctuary and you have wool from these animals, I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to use the wool because I feel uncomfortable about doing that. I think that there's a reason why we're in the position where we are today, and it started from animals being used in backyards and humans thinking that they can benefit from certain products. So once we start, I think it's a very slippery slope. So I would let it go to waste because you're not contributing to any further waste. You're not continuing to breed any further sheep into existence to have wool to waste, if that makes sense. And yeah, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I'd rather kind of stick to what because I'm assuming that you're not completely plant-based and that you only use wool from sheep who have been rescued, right? So I'm more interested in speaking about your specific situation and how you're exploiting animals and if you think that that's respectful.
Okay, I see. Sorry, I was just scrolling and I saw there was a debate and I just was curious, so I was just wondering.
Yeah, well, that's my opinion anyway. I mean, you may get some other vegans that disagree. Like I said, I wouldn't have a massive issue with it and I wouldn't advocate against it because there are people who are breeding animals for the purpose of exploiting them. So, you know, if somebody is on a sanctuary and they're using the animal's poo, like they're not exploiting them for that purpose, but it's just they're using that as a result of them being there. I wouldn't speak out against that, if that makes sense. But
they could use the wool for the benefit of the animal at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But Chris Colette, do you consume animal products?
Right now in my time, I do. I am trying to get off it though, because I've done a lot of thinking myself, and it just morally it feels like I don't think I can do it anymore. You know, like I feel so bad. Like I saw the Dominion documentary, and it just was really eye opening, and yeah.
What do you feel are like some of the obstacles in you being vegan?
So I have health issues. So for me, it's making sure I get enough iron and finding like ways I can eat plant-based without going backwards, you know? So I'm sure there's ways, I'm sure there's recipes and stuff like that. I'll have to do a lot of research, but
well, one good thing you can do when it comes to iron is to just use vitamin C in conjunction with the meals with plant iron, which really helps the absorption, and you can get just as much. And you can supplement iron as well. You know, I think supplements are often stigmatized, but, you know, I think, you know, we use lots of unnatural interventions into our lives, like washing our hands, you know, to kind of help us to live in alignment with, you know, how we want to live. So I think it sounds like you have the right motivation, and, you know, there are definitely the ways to do it for you while also taking care of your health.
It's kind of ironic because I was talking to that vegan teacher about this stuff before, and I made a video and I was talking about, you know, eating meat, like I feel better when I eat meat. And then it turns out I got an iron deficiency. So it was never the meat at all. I was just lacking that nutrient that I need. So it's really eye-opening to realize, like, hey, I actually don't need meat. Like, there are things you can do. Well, yeah. So I appreciate coming on and talking to you guys. I was just scrolling, got curious. So it was nice talking. I'm sure there's some other people that want to jump in. But
yeah, we appreciate you coming on as well, and we appreciate the honest conversation. I just want to ask, so let's say if you were in the position of the victim, you were being exploited for your body parts or for what your body produced, and your oppressor, they said, I do think that you deserve respect and that I'm not respecting you at the moment, but I have an issue with nutrition, or I have these concerns. How urgently would you want them to go away and to overcome those issues and then stop exploiting you?
Well, if they're going to use me for meat or something, I imagine that's going to be an automatic. Yeah, that would suck. You know. If it was for like wool or something, I guess it depends on like the situation. Like if they're bad people, like really abusive and stuff, or if they're like caring, like a sanctuary, like you were bringing up. I think it just depends. But I think at the end of the day, when it comes down to consumption, that's where I'm like, okay, yeah, that would not be fun. So I think that's the whole point with veganism too. So I'll keep doing research and learning and stuff like that, and yeah.
But I mean, if I can jump in, you've seen Dominion, right? So what is it exactly? What are the doubts that you have? What is preventing you from being vegan today? Apart from nutrition.
Exactly. Right now, there's nothing stopping me. So that's kind of empowering to know that I can just decide to do it right now.
So why don't you do it right now?
I'll do that. I'll start keeping a track and not going back.
I meant, why don't you go vegan now and start respecting animals from now?
Well, right now, again, there's nothing stopping me from not doing it, so I think I just have to just not.
So you will exploit 0 animals from today onwards?
Yeah, like I think I'm done, you know?
So vegan from now?
Yep.
Great.
Yay! Okay, awesome. I just want to mention something because I know you watched Dominion. I have another resource on here, and it's called The Most Important Speech You'll Ever Hear. Have you heard of that before?
I haven't seen that one, no.
Okay.
All right, I just got screenshots if I can find it.
Yeah, I would recommend watching that for you because it's very thought-provoking, and it kind of challenges a lot of the ways that we've been raised to think and what we've been made to believe. So I think I would definitely recommend that. There's also something called Animal Justice 21. So that's something that you can sign up to for 21 days. You get support. You have access to a dietitian, or I think it's a dietitian or a nutritionist, and they can help with any questions or queries that you've got.
Both.
Good.
Okay, both. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, that's awesome that you're willing to do that. I don't know if anyone else wants to add anything or say anything.
Yeah, well,
that sounds really cool, because like that was my biggest concern is like I care about animals, but I also don't want to get sick myself. But looking at the research, it looks like there may be more benefits. So
yeah, absolutely. I think, it sounds like you can hold them both simultaneously. I think the last thing I would say is, now that you're vegan and, recognizing the importance of respecting other animals, just it's important to go forward. I think, don't stop learning, and to make sure that you use your voice to kind of keep learning about how you can advocate for them. Because if we want to see a world where humans respect other animals, we need kind, compassionate voices like yours to use that voice to help others along the way.
Wait, what were your thoughts on like unfertilized chicken eggs? Should we just be composting those?
Yeah, or there's a couple of things you can do. Or you can sometimes feed them back to the chickens, which I know sounds a bit gross. But so often the chickens that exist today, the ones who have been kind of genetically modified by humans in order to benefit us, it can be really negatively impactful on their bodies and leach calcium from their bones, which can shorten their lifespan. So in that kind of scenario, that would be the best thing to do with the eggs, you can like scramble them and then feed them back to them as a way of saving money, but also, making sure they get the right nutrients and that sort of thing.
Okay, that's good to know. I actually let you guys go so you have more people to come in, but it was really, really nice talking to you guys.
It was really nice to chat to you as well.
Likewise. Awesome. Thanks for coming up. Oh, and I'll let you go, but I'll just say, whilst you're still here, you're welcome to come back up like in a week or a couple of weeks or whatever. I'm here every week doing this, and some of the panel members are as well. So yeah, it'd be cool to hear from you in future and see how you're getting on, and just how things are going for you. But yeah, that was awesome. Good teamwork, everybody.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, it was good. She's really strong at the end, you know. She really understood what we were talking about, and she just made the step, and it's very easy to take the step. I mean, if you're watching this and you're wondering, it's easier than you think.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the kind of person that we do these lives for, right? The people who are open and honest, and they haven't got their ego in the way of doing the right thing. So yeah.
Good to remember there's people like that out there.
That's it. Right, let's keep going because we have got a few guest requests, and I'm here until 10, so we're going to try and get through as many as we can. So, Blank, are you over 18?
I got a question.
Are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Before you ask your question, can we just clarify what your understanding is of veganism?
Well, I mean, my understanding about veganism is just the fact is, of course, you know, y'all working for the right or wrong purposes and stuff like that. You know, y'all respect animals and y'all care about animals, but you know, not everybody's vegan. So, but that's pretty much my understanding of it.
I mean, that's why we're here, because not everybody's vegan. But it's more to do with rejecting animal exploitation. So we don't want to use other animals as our resources when we don't have to. So do you think that we should be respecting other animals?
Honestly,
yes.
And how? What do you mean on a respect basis?
So do you think that we should consider their interests?
Well, yeah,
respect their interests.
Animals
okay. Animals
are a living thing.
Sure. And do you think that we can truly respect them if we're also using them as a resource at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
Management.
So if somebody was using you for your body or for what your body produced, would that be, or could that ever be respectful towards you?
As long as it's helping in a proper cause, then sure, I don't care.
As long as it's helping.
So Blank, are you saying that it's okay for somebody right now to kidnap you and harvest your organs?
If it's for a proper cause, sure.
Yeah, harvesting your organs.
Yeah, if it's for a proper cause, sure.
Well, you keep repeating it. It's for a proper cause. Well, for example, we could harvest your organs to study the organs. Would that be okay?
If it has, like I said, if it has a proper cause in the future, sure.
Well, no, Blank. I mentioned the cause. We use your organs to study the organs. I mean, we have already guidelines about organs. We have people who are not alive that we could study organs on. But we want to kidnap you and use your organs. Would that be okay?
That's fine by me, because at the end of the day, there's more people on this earth.
I don't think Blank is being honest. I don't think we should continue. But if anybody else wants to ask anything, you're welcome.
I want to ask y'all is
it doesn't seem like he's genuine.
If we took all these domesticated animals that we have now, what?
Sorry, we can't talk to somebody who's not being honest. Nobody in their right mind would be okay with being kidnapped and having their organs harvested. What the hell? Okay, next up. You have to be willing to have an honest conversation, even if that means that there's a contradiction within your position. That's fine. It's fine having a contradiction or highlighting a contradiction, as long as you acknowledge that and then change your actions. Community Fix, are you over 18?
34.
Okay. What's your understanding of veganism?
That you're rejecting the oppression and exploitation of animals.
Yeah, it's the exploitation, so we don't want to use other animals as our resources when we don't have to. Do you think that we should be respecting other animals?
Yeah, we're all connected, so I think that we should be.
Cool. And do you think that we can truly respect them whilst at the same time using them as our resources?
You can't really do that, but two things in this world can be true at the same time. So it's like, I can understand why it happens. That's the problem.
Okay. So it's not respectful, but you can understand why or that it happens.
Kind of. It's something along those lines.
Okay.
So I think that people can be eating, say, McDonald's. They don't want to eat McDonald's. So those two things can be true at the same time.
Oh, do you mean like if you're not aware of the exploitation that you're causing, you're not committing an act of disrespect? Is that what you mean?
A bit like that. So there's this feeling deep down inside of you that's like, I don't want to eat this, but I am eating this. So it's a feeling that it's different, obviously, to veganism when it comes to exploitation. But I'm trying to use another example of two things being correct at the same time.
Yeah. So I'm more asking from like from the perspective of the individual being exploited. So let's ask it this way. So do you think that it could ever be respectful for somebody to use you for your body, to use you as their resource?
No, that's definitely like some sort of human rights breach or something.
Okay.
So, no.
Sure. So to the individual animal who's being exploited, do you think that it's respectful to them, regardless of how?
Yeah, it's not respectful to them.
Sure. So it seems like you agree with the principles then of veganism. Do you feel that there's anything preventing you from being vegan and living in alignment with your morals?
Yeah, so I think that what doesn't work for me is that veganism sort of ranks the animals at the same level of humans. And I've seen this so many times before. And I genuinely believe that.
Yeah, so...
Well, curious, because... Sorry, you go, Jen.
Well, I'm just asking... So you don't have to believe that other animals are equal to human beings in order to be vegan, because you're not choosing whether to exploit a human or another animal. You're choosing whether to exploit another animal or to not exploit them. So they don't have to be on the same level. It's like you, for example, I wouldn't consider you on the same level as any member on the panel here, because those are my friends, right? That's no disrespect to you. But that doesn't mean that, therefore, I'm justified to exploit you just because I don't see you on the same level, because I don't need to exploit you. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying, but if we were in a burning building, you're most likely to still save your friends before me.
Sure, that's what I'm saying. But that doesn't mean I'm going to exploit you when I don't have to.
Or in other words, it doesn't mean that she's going to burn down the building if her friends aren't there.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, the whole point isn't when you're faced with between choosing somebody who you have more value versus somebody who has less value to you. The point is, even if somebody has less value to you, like an animal has to you, you still choose to not exploit them because you understand that the life matters to them.
This is true in an ideal world, right? But we don't live in the ideal world. The point that I'm trying to make is we have a cost of living crisis. And when there's things like deficiencies for selenium, which happens quite regularly for maybe not amongst this group on the panel.
But selenium is a mineral. Well, selenium is a mineral. What does that have to do with animals?
It's also a deficiency. So
but what does that have to do with animals?
Because of vegan deficiency.
No, it's not a deficiency because of vegans. Vegans are less than 2%. If you're claiming that selenium is a deficiency across the population, then that would imply somehow that the majority of the population is somewhat vegan, which it's not the case. So if you truly think that selenium is a deficiency, you can easily supplement selenium. That's number one.
Exactly.
Number two, you can eat foods rich in selenium, right?
Yeah,
so
you can. Yes. So if you'd allow me to make the point then. So selenium, for example, you can have either too much or too little of it. So that's why I made the point that in a small panel, for example, you might not actually notice that you might be getting your efficiency correct. It depends on where you're actually getting. You can see this in Europe, in
But why
parts of
is this
Canada.
related to
Let me finish the
exploiting
point.
What has this
animals?
got to do with anything?
So I'm
Yeah.
saying, so if you let me finish the point, that you just now brought up supplements. If you look at companies like Huel, they have subscriptions. So let's just imagine in this scenario of people having supplements, like you mentioned. If say 100% of the planet just switches over to veganism due to your great persuasion, then all of those people, most of them, a lot of them will be dependent on things like those supplements. And currently, the price of like Huel or Dr. Vegan or Viva Life, any of these supplement companies, they've been going up gradually. And I'm trying to point out that we would be putting them in a cost of living crisis.
Wait a minute, because this is such a ridiculous economical claim to make. You're essentially making the claim that, well, economically speaking, if everyone would buy this product, which this product in particular that we're talking about is selenium supplement, then the selenium will cost a lot more. First of all, you have no way of knowing that. Second, that's counterintuitive to how the world economy works, because we mostly live in capitalistic world economy where the more demand there is, the also the more supply people provide, then there's more competition and then the price drops. And also, if there is such a high demand, I'm sure governments will help subsidize all that, since governments already subsidize the demand of animal products, since animal products are so expensive. So I don't see how that's such a non sequitur to everything that you're asked, because even if you believe all that, and even if we grant you all that, you choosing to adopt a plant-based diet or you choosing to be vegan would in no shape or form affect that. And if you're concerned about where you get your selenium, you can just eat Brazil nuts, not Huel, or even get a supplement.
Okay, so just to respond back to that, I understand that you might think that that's ridiculous, but when you say evidence, I'm using evidence currently right now.
Yeah, but let's address the
I
idea that
didn't
why you
interrupt
are
you.
not
Okay,
vegan.
you have
Sure.
something to say.
Sure. Just address the idea on why you are not vegan. I really don't care to discuss this whole perspective of the world being vegan.
Yeah,
I know
you
a lot
can,
of
Ron.
non-vegans. I know a lot of vegans have a fetish about discussing the vegan world, and somehow they always strawman it because they always just take one aspect of it and say, "You see, this aspect doesn't work," but then they completely ignore all the other aspects of being vegan, like the fact that if the world were vegan, every single person in the world were vegan, and they would be acting in a different way. So you are strawmanning it on the sheer fact that you assume that people would be behaving in the same way towards each other or towards the global economy or towards social justice. But in fact, vegans are known to act way better towards social justice. But again, I don't care about this. Why aren't you vegan? You, the person that's sitting in front of us.
Is an echo chamber something that you prefer? Because I'm
No,
literally
why aren't you vegan?
I'm giving you my response, and you keep interrupting in my response. I'm telling you that this is a business model that currently happens right now.
Sorry,
Why aren't you
wait.
vegan?
Community Fix, can you answer the question that Chip asked?
I just answered that the reason why I am not is because I believe that vegans are ranking humans over
I've already explained how that is not the
under
case.
animals, right?
So community,
I gave the
let me make
example.
it sure.
You're
So let me make
interrupting
it
as well.
sure.
Again,
Yes, I am.
echo chamber.
So let me be sure. Let me be sure that let me clarify. I'm not asking you why you don't belong to the vegan community. You don't have to belong to the vegan community. I don't care about that. I'm asking you, why do you choose to exploit animals right now? That's the question. I don't care what other vegans say. You don't have to be part of the vegan community. You don't have to agree with any vegan person out there. Hell, you don't even have to have a vegan friend. None of that matters. The question is, why do you choose to exploit animals?
Right. So just to make sure that you know I'm responding to you, your question is, why do you choose to exploit animals? My argument was that, from my perspective, vegans are simply
You answer the
ranking
question.
animals.
Nothing to
I'm
do with
telling you,
vegans. I'm asking you why you exploit animals. Nothing to do with the existence of vegans on this planet. Why do you choose to exploit animals?
because if I chose veganism, then essentially this would be, I would be doing exactly. I'll be going in the direction of these supplement companies, all-in-one supplement
Supplements.
companies, that would be charging everybody through the roof, which is what they're doing at the moment.
Nope,
What?
that's factually false. The only supplement that you would need is B12. And even that one you don't need because you could eat fortified foods.
B12 is
So,
different to selenium.
yeah,
If you
selenium,
don't
you
have
don't need the
selenium,
selenium
kids
supplement.
get affected,
But you don't need the
pregnancy gets
selenium supplement.
affected, people,
Community, you don't need a selenium supplement.
and you're
Stop it with
denying
this.
any of those deficiencies for some
You
Community,
reason.
what
don't
if we
need...
provide you with 10 kilos of Brazil nuts every month?
Then that would mean that you'll
Would you
have
then go
too much,
vegan
my friend.
afterwards?
That would mean that you are too much. You have too much of it.
Sure, we have too much and
Do
we
you
want to
understand
help
that?
you. Sure,
I
so
don't
we
think
have
you
too much.
understand that. You're
Community,
arguing something
Sure,
that
sure, sure,
I've
sure.
read studies on.
Sure. I'm sure you have. So the question is, we agree that we send you, we all, per people on this panel, will send you 10 kilograms each of Brazil nuts. So you have enough selenium to be vegan yourself.
You don't
So
understand that. That's
why
what I'm trying
are
to
you
say.
still
The
choosing to
lack of
oppress
brain
innocent
power right now.
animals?
I'm saying to you that you can
Oh
end up with
no,
too much
community.
or
Such a
too
non
little.
sequitur.
Yeah, so
Such a non
community,
You're
sequitur.
gonna run.
you would
You're
portion
basically
those
gonna run.
you would portion those Brazil nuts to only the amount that you need, and they would maybe
And
last you
how
for
do
the
we know
entire year.
how does everybody know what they need? It's different in every human.
Yes,
And you're not getting that.
What has this got to do with
Yeah.
anything?
work through those.
It
Because
has
you're making a
nothing.
point
Oh
that
my
you
God.
think that, let's just imagine, guys, right? That
Let's not
that you've
imagine.
given
Let's
somebody
stop this
10
conversation. It's
kilograms, you can
nonsensical.
have
I
too much
agree.
of it on a vegan diet.
Why are we debating selenium? Like we're here to talk about animal exploitation. That was so weird. How weird
Such a
was that?
disingenuous person.
He started out quite smart though.
Yeah, I know.
It just took a really weird turn. I have to
Then
exploit
he went
animals because of a
into the
selenium
Brazil nut.
deficiency, which I could have as a vegan or as a non-vegan. What? Sorry, I can't see your name, but are you over 18?
I haven't. Go on.
Okay, shall I just call you
But-
Blank? Because I can't see your name.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Are you over 18?
Yeah.
Okay. Blank, what's your understanding of veganism?
Not eating meat.
So that's a consequence of being vegan. Why do you think a vegan might do that?
Because most farmed animals are pretty cruelly farmed.
Okay. Well, it's because vegans oppose animal exploitation, so we don't want to consume animal flesh because it comes from an exploited animal, but also we wouldn't want to use animals or exploit them for any purpose where we can avoid doing so. So for their skin, for their breast milk, their eggs, for fashion, entertainment, etc. So do you think that we should respect other animals?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that we can truly respect them whilst at the same time using them as our resource?
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask, if you were in the position of the victim, so you were being exploited for your body, could that ever be respectful towards you?
Well, depends on what it is. So, a farmed animal, such as like a pig or lamb, well, no, yeah, and cattle and all that, yeah, I would not, I wouldn't, I would not, I see your point. I don't actually eat that point.
So it wouldn't be respectful to exploit you in the same way that your victims are being exploited. Right. So
yeah, but my victims aren't farmed animals because I don't eat farmed animals.
do you not eat animals? Because
they're still victims, though.
No. You guys are kind of missing a point.
He's a hunter.
You know wild animals, invasive animals. So
Yeah.
there's
Why are they
invasive
invasive?
animals that need to be culled for environmental issues.
Need to.
My point is,
why do they need to be culled? Sorry.
Do you know what an invasive animal is?
Somebody said that you're under 18. What year were you born?
2008.
What month?
February.
Okay. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So yes, I understand invasive species. Human beings are a very invasive species. So should we start killing humans?
No, but we should bring back...
But we're invasive.
Whoa. VAR. Then that point would mean that the entire...
Do you know what it means to be invasive?
Yeah, but we do affect the ecosystem in many ways.
Massively. We're the most invasive species there is.
I think
so should we kill humans?
Well, no. But I think... wait, 1 second.
Blank, what's the square root of 9?
Are you there? What are you doing?
Okay, never mind.
Blank, what's the square root of 9?
Are you asking ChatGPT something?
No, just...
Why are you saying, why are you whispering and saying, 1 second?
Oh, no, just someone's coming, just...
Okay, let's move on. I think he's doing something strange.
I think he's a child, yeah.
Yeah, someone was going into the room probably or something.
Okay, yeah, that's weird. Okay, let's move on. Next we have M. I think that's M. When it load, oh, okay, they've gone. Let's try the next one. Land Rover Dave. Hello, Dave. Are you over 18?
Yeah.
Oh, the sound's a little bit. The sound is not great. Are you able to speak closer to the mic? Maybe.
Is that any better?
Not really. It sounds like you're using like hands-free in the car or something.
Yeah.
Sounds like inside a can.
Sounds like he's inside a can, yeah. Okay.
He's in a Land Rover. Sorry.
Land Rover Dave, yeah. Okay, yeah, I think we'll move on, but maybe we'll circle back to you. Sorry, Dave, it's just, it might be difficult to understand or have a conversation. Next, we have Andy Allen. Are you over 18?
Yes, I'm 24.
Okay. So what's your understanding of veganism?
It's vegans are against the oppression against animals and non-living things, so like materials, clothing, and stuff like that. They're against the use of exploitation of animals.
Yeah, so against the exploitation of animals. We're not against the use of materials. Is that what you said?
No, I mean like clothing that's maybe made
out of wool, right, from animals.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. So do you think that we should be respecting other animals?
I think all animals get respected to a certain extent, yeah.
No. Do you think that they should be respected, though? I'm not asking if you think they are. I'm asking if you think they should be.
I would say it depends on the... Yeah, I suppose all animals should be respected.
Okay. And do you think...
regard, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that we can truly respect them whilst at the same time using them as a resource?
I think the reason... I think, yeah, you can still respect them whilst also using them for a resource.
Okay. So let me ask, if you were being used in the same way as other animals were, so you were being exploited for your flesh or your skin or for your reproductive organs or for transportation for somebody else, could that ever be respectful?
No, I don't think that would be respectful.
Okay. So why do you think that it's respectful to use other animals in that way, but it wouldn't be respectful to do that to you?
Because when are we going to be in a situation where animals need to use us?
How is that answering the question? I'm not...
Right, so say the question again.
It's a hypothetical.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm asking, why do you think it would never be respectful to treat you that way, but it is to do that to other animals? It doesn't matter if this situation is ever going to happen. I'm just asking hypothetically.
No, yeah, it wouldn't be respectful, would it?
Yeah, so but you said that it is respectful to exploit other animals.
Respectful to exploit other animals?
Yes, you said that we can respect other animals whilst at the same time using them against their interests. And then that's why I asked you, would it be respectful to do that to you? You said no. So there's a contradiction there. You're saying it's respectful to do that to other animals, but not to you. So I'm just trying to identify why that contradiction exists.
Okay, so the contradiction exists because I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, but humans are unfortunately more important and more useful than what animals are.
By the way, this person was also on Vegan Stoner Ladies stream yesterday.
No, we're getting all the second-hand conversations from the VSL stream.
What is it as a human that makes you more important to animals? What are the traits?
Leadership skills.
So if someone doesn't have leadership skills, we are okay to exploit them.
Animals don't display they sort of character.
So if someone doesn't have leadership skills, it's okay to exploit them?
No, but humans, why would we exploit other humans?
I don't know, I'm asking you. I'm following your logic.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
You said leadership skills.
Yeah, not every human has leadership skills, Andy.
And that's okay.
Should we exploit the humans who do not have those skills?
Well, no, Dad. No. Right, sorry, someone else is getting involved there.
No, we shouldn't. Okay, so why should... So other animals don't have leadership skills and we should exploit them. But for humans who don't have leadership skills, we shouldn't exploit them. So there's still a contradiction there.
Where's the contradiction? There's a difference. There's a massive difference between
and we're trying to ask, we're trying to identify what that difference is. You said leadership skills, but when we apply that to the human, suddenly, even though they haven't got leadership skills, we still shouldn't exploit them. So why is that?
Because unfortunately, humans are more important than animals.
Yeah. So okay.
I think he did the same thing on Vegan Stoner Ladies.
I believe that I am more important than you. Am I now justified to exploit you? Because that's my belief. I think that I'm more important than you because you're Scottish and I'm English. So based on the body that you're born into as a Scottish person, right, I think I'm more important than you. Can I now exploit you?
Wait.
Is that a yes or a no?
Wait. Right. What's me being Scottish got to do with anything?
What I'm doing is the same as you. I'm picking an arbitrary trait, so I'm choosing something that you cannot control about the body that you're born into, and I'm saying I think I'm more important than you because you have this trait, right? That's the same as what you're doing, but to other animals, you're saying I'm more important than you because I'm a human and you're other species, right? I'm doing the same thing, but rather than using your species, I'm using where you're based because that's the only thing I know about you. Because I can tell from your accent.
Yeah, and I think the main confusion, the confusion that we're getting here is, for me, I see animals and humans separately, whereas
I see Scottish people and English people separately as well. So again, using your logic, can I now exploit you because I see you differently to me? I see me as being more important.
Right, okay.
Can I now exploit you?
Right. Okay, what does your passport say?
Why does that matter?
We'd ask you what is the difference between humans and animals, and you couldn't answer that.
Yeah, I can answer that. We have skills. Humans have set skills, leadership skills, and humans have a great
Andy, just the question. Andy, the question that you're asked is, what can you remove from a human that would make it okay to exploit them?
Nothing. Nobody should ever be exploited. No human should ever be exploited.
So there's nothing we
Period.
can remove from a human that would make it okay to exploit them.
Say that again, sorry. I can give
There's nothing we can remove from a human that would make it okay to exploit them.
Why would you want to exploit a human in the first place?
For the same reason, you can benefit from it.
So you want to eat? So you want to eat humans? Is that what you're saying?
Sure. So imagine if somebody wanted to do that. What can they remove from a human to make it okay for them to do that?
I'm not sure. You need to tell me that.
Well, you're the one who's justifying that. What the fuck? How can I tell you that?
Whoa. Let's keep it PG.
Andy.
I have maybe a younger audience. Come on.
Andy, can we try this? Why should we not exploit other humans? What is it about humans? Is it just their leadership skills?
I don't think we should, because there is a law. There is a law for that.
Okay, so if it was legal...
Legality doesn't define morality.
If it was legal to exploit humans who don't have leadership skills, should we?
No, I would never do that.
Okay, why?
I don't know if you guys would, but
why?
Personally, no.
Why not?
So you're saying if it was legal?
Yeah, if it was legal to exploit humans who don't have leadership skills, should we do it? You said no. Why not?
My answer's still going to be no. Yeah.
Yes. Why not?
Because the bottom line is, it's not right to do that.
Okay. Why is it not right? You're begging the question.
Why is it not right? I think common sense would prevail.
Yeah, by the way, this is exactly what he did in VSL.
Yeah,
so he just went around in circles and got.
You need to be able to explain common sense. You can't just say, "Oh, something's common sense."
I need to explain common sense.
I could say, "Well, I'm gonna go bike riding at night." You ask me why? Oh, because it's common sense. Well, there must be a reason behind it.
Yeah, well, I'm not just talking common sense. We look at history as well, right? We've always, I mean, in the Bible, fish is mentioned over 100 times. Bread is meat is mentioned over 100 times in the Bible.
What my question is, Andy, is no, but you're not answering the question that I asked. So I'm just going to ask one more time, and if not, I'm going to move on. The question is, why should we not exploit humans who don't have leadership skills if it was legal to do so?
Because it's not right to do so. It's not,
why is it not right? You're begging the question. Jesus, right.
I'm not saying the ethical.
Does anyone else want to try? Or otherwise, we're going to move on.
Yeah, Andy, you're asked why is that not right? I understand you say it's not. You just keep going in the same circle. Why is it wrong to do so?
I don't know how to explain that something's not right. Like it's just not right. It's just a
Andy,
horrible
I have a
act.
question for you. Do you think that other animals' lives matter to them? Do you think what happens to them is important to them?
I'm sorry, but respectfully, I'm trying to answer the first question that was posed, right?
Okay, then we'll go back to the next question.
Yeah, but you're not answering it. You're just saying it's not right. It's not right. It's just not right.
How do I explain?
Let's move on from this person because he cannot answer.
Yeah, agree. You can't even explain your position. TJ, are you over 18? It's just loading. It's not loading. Okay. I'm going to drop you. You're welcome to request back again. But yeah, it's taken a while to load. Land Rover Dave. That's the person we couldn't hear very well, isn't it? Let's try again. Hello, Land Rover Dave.
Oh yeah, is that better?
Oh yeah, loads better. I don't think we actually asked any questions, did we? What's your understanding of...
I just want to fill in from what that young chap was saying with your question. Like, modern day living is exploitation when you look at it in a bigger picture.
Sure. Okay. So what is your understanding of veganism?
Oh, you're against farming and using animal products for things.
Yeah, so it's being against and rejecting animal exploitation. So we don't want to use other animals for our purposes when we don't have to. Do you think that we should respect other animals?
Yeah, I think we do anyway.
Yeah, but I'm asking if we should, not if we do. So we should respect other animals.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree with you.
Do you think that we can truly respect them whilst at the same time using them as our resources?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So if somebody was using you in the same way that you're using other animals, do you think that that would be respectful towards you? So they were farming you for your flesh, for your skin, however else you exploit animals. Is it respectful?
Well, no, because that doesn't happen due to the fact.
No. I'm not asking if it happens or not. I'm asking if it did happen, would it be respectful?
Yeah, but it isn't going to happen, is it?
I know it's not.
So
Well, I don't know. It might. I'm asking if it did happen, would it be respectful?
Also, Izod fallacy. You gotta eat some of that tofu.
Oh yeah, shit. Twice it was.
I'm trying to grasp what you're saying because that doesn't make any sense.
I'm asking if somebody was exploiting you for this in the same ways that you're exploiting other animals, would it ever be respectful?
Well, I don't know. I can't answer that question because one,
Why?
it's never been done.
Oh, so you can't answer a hypothetical because it's never been done?
I mean, it has been done. What are you talking about, Land Rover Dave? We took
Well,
humans with a different
no
skin color. We brought them into existence. We used them and we unalived them. We did that. What are you talking about?
I think he's saying it's never happened to him, so he can't possibly put himself into that position.
I work in the farming industry myself.
Sounds like it, yeah.
So I don't know where your comment makes no sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, if we can't get past that question, I'm just asking if it would be respectful if somebody was doing the same thing to you and you're like, well, I can't answer it because it's not happened. You can't like imagine yourself in a certain position.
But the
like, do you lack imagination? I don't understand.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen though, is it?
But
yeah, again, it's all fallacy.
Yeah, Land Rover, you're not being asked if it's going to happen or not. Just imagine that it can happen. Imagine that it can happen.
Let's look at
so
reality.
if it does happen that somebody puts you in a cage and uses for whatever your body produces, it doesn't have to be milk. They can use you for your organs. Like literally, there are people who steal other people for their organs. And somebody could steal you for your organs, right? They could see you as a resource simply for organs. Would that be fair towards you?
Well, no, because you wouldn't have much choice, would you?
So that doesn't matter whether you have a choice or not. The question is if it's fair.
I think you know what. I don't think
I'm
that.
a realist. I don't live in a bubble. I'm a realist.
Yeah, I don't think that Dave is as oh god, I'm trying to say this without sounding so rude. I think that Dave is smarter than he actually is, and the reason he doesn't want to answer is because he knows that it will lead to some kind of contradiction or something, not because he can't use his imagination. But anyway, I'm done. I don't know if anyone else wants to ask anything.
Land Rover Dave, I have a question for you. You said that you can't answer because it's never gonna happen or you don't know, something like this. So do you agree with me that we don't need to work in child trafficking, for example, to know that it's horrible and disturbing, right?
Say that again.
We don't need to work with child trafficking to know that it's horrible, wrong, and disturbing. We understand that, and we are against that, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I completely.
So you could apply the same kind of mindset. You could apply it to the question that Jam just asked you about the animals, right?
Okay, but is that due to the fact that what's the word? Like we're raised in that way by our parents?
No. What I meant is the fact that you're not actually an animal and you're not actually being exploited, it doesn't matter, because you can already understand that the way we use them is not morally acceptable, because it would not be morally acceptable for you and would not be respectful for you if it was done to you, right?
Yeah, if it's done to my children, no, 100%.
Yeah,
not
or
my
to
children
you.
in that way, no.
Yeah,
But
so
on
you
the other hand,
understand.
with animals, you know, like I said, my sector is farming, and that's something that my family has done for generations, and other friends of mine. And the sheer fact of that is what happens in a sense of the animals are raised, and they're raised really well. Some farms aren't.
No, they're not,
You know,
Dave.
but you know who used to speak like this? You know who used to raise very well someone else? A slave master. The slave master would take great care of their slaves and then sold them for their body or for labor.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
still goes. It
so
still
that is
goes
what
on.
you're telling about the animals, and that is not respectful. And you
it
said
still
it yourself.
Yeah, but it still goes on today.
What?
And you ain't going to change it, just in different ways. That's the way.
Yeah, but
way
we are
it goes.
asking you individually. We're not talking about the planet. We're not going to solve the exploitation of animals on the planet by tomorrow. We are addressing this on an individual base, and we're asking you personally.
Yeah, I don't agree with exploiting young children and stuff like that.
What about young animals?
Well, the young animals are very rarely exploited.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because it's
that.
the exact opposite, actually.
Because when you go abroad, like I'm in the UK, but when you go abroad to like Spain and stuff, they do, yeah.
Land Rover Dan, what do you think it means to exploit someone?
Well, you use them.
Use them, yes.
To their advantage.
Yeah, they use their body. You take away their freedom to benefit yourself, right?
So tell me how it's done in young animals then. I've been
Well, so okay,
in my life, so.
you eat animals, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So when you go to the shop and you pay for milk, flesh, eggs, what's happening is that someone in a slaughterhouse is taking an animal and they're taking their freedom and their life away from them. So how is that not exploitation?
Because that's what they're bred. That's what they're bred for.
Okay, so in a hypothetical, can you do the hypothetical? So let's just say dogfighting, right? In dogfighting, the dogs are bred in order to be exploited so that they can fight each other for humans' entertainment, right?
Yeah, which happens over parts of the world, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. So is it wrong to exploit those dogs? But
I personally think it is, yeah.
okay, but they were bred for that.
But that's not how I was raised to accept that dogs were for that. Dogs, in my eyes, are for pets.
Well, so it's okay. So you're talking about your perspective, right? But what we need to be talking about here is the perspective of the animal, right? Because they have their own perspective. So do you think it is disrespectful to a pig, a cow, or a chicken who does not need to be exploited by you because you can live vegan? Is it disrespectful for you to do that to them when you don't need to?
Yeah.
Okay, so you acknowledge that it's disrespectful to exploit other
to a certain degree. Like I can't say it's a bad thing and it's a good thing because I've had like pet pigs and I've bred pigs for meat. So I'm just putting it into perspective. As much as I love the animals, and yeah, I can see the other side of it, and people need to eat, and that's the way I am.
People do need to eat, right? But humans don't need to eat animals, do we?
But yeah, because we got the parts to digest meat and we got parts to digest.
Yeah, no, you're right that we have the physiological ability to digest their body parts.
Yeah.
But we do not require those body parts in order to survive and to thrive because we can eat something else instead, right?
Okay, so why are we brought up with the stomach acid that will break down?
Oh no.
Yeah, no, Dave, you're right that humans can.
Answer me that then. Why were we made that way?
Well, it depends what you mean. I mean, we are omnivores, which means that we can digest animals or plants or plants. But the other thing is that it doesn't mean that we need to eat animals. It just means, just like in the same way that like we can clench our fist, right, to punch someone, but that doesn't mean that we need to do that just because we have the ability to do it.
Right.
So it's the same with animals.
If we don't need to do it, then why were we made with it?
Say again, sorry.
If we don't need to do it, then why were we made that way?
Well, again, like I said, so if you clench your fist, you can punch someone, right? So we were made to be able to use our hands to defend ourselves. Yeah. However, we don't decide that we can then just be violent whenever we want just because we were made to be able to be violent, right?
But you use it when you need it.
Yeah, when you need it. And so we don't need to exploit other animals.
Right. So now we're getting somewhere. So on the other hand then, your body, you might not think you need it, but at some point, I'm sure you need some kind of meat product in your life that your body tells you to eat, which makes you go, do you see what I mean? You see where I'm getting at?
Not really, because, I mean, all scientists are completely certain that human beings do not need anything that comes from an animal in order to be happy and healthy. We need nutrients, and we can get those nutrients from plants. So how is it justified to, instead of doing that option, to take an animal and take away their freedom and take away their life and use their body as your resource when you do not have to and you have a different choice available?
I don't know. I've been raised to eat meat, and that's what I will continue.
This is what we're here to talk about. I was raised to eat and exploit animals as well, because unfortunately, at the moment, it is the dominant culture. But that is what we're here to discuss, is what you think about why you should continue or why you shouldn't continue.
Well, I'm going to continue doing, well, I don't raise animals myself. I'm an agricultural contractor now, so I go from farm to farm. And
right, so just to check, so you do agree that it is wrong to unnecessarily exploit another animal? Hang on,
I can't hear Land Rover Dave.
In certain aspects, I do, yes.
You do? Sorry, could you just repeat that? Because you went quiet for a second. I didn't hear what you said.
In certain aspects, I do, yes, correct.
Think that it is wrong?
In some cases, yeah.
Okay, so do you acknowledge that, so you might not be the one in the slaughterhouse exploiting the animal by bolt gunning them in the head?
I've worked in one before, yeah.
Right, okay. And so do you acknowledge that you were exploiting those animals for your benefit?
Not for my benefit, for other people, yeah, and that's what kept me going.
For money.
It was for money though, right? You were doing it as a job?
I was doing it as a job, yes, but I was doing it in the aspect of feeding people.
No, but anyway, so my point being is that, let's just say, so you don't do that anymore. But when you go to the supermarket and you are buying animal flesh off of the supermarket shelf...
I don't.
You don't what, sorry?
I don't buy it from supermarkets.
Okay, point is, but you pay money to someone, right, in order for you to get those products?
No.
Okay. So what's really happening there is that on the other end of that money is going to someone who is then going to be doing that to the animal. And the only reason that is happening is because you are demanding it with your money.
Yeah, for a lot of people, not in my case.
What do you mean not in your case?
Because it doesn't work that way with me. I get it from a family farm, so this stuff that we've got ourselves.
But you pay for it.
Oh no.
You still pay for it, right, Dave?
No, I don't pay for it at all.
You get it for free.
Yeah, in some aspects, yeah. I do go to work. I feed my animals. I look after the animals.
Right, but so okay, let's just say you get it for free. The fact is that there's still, you're creating, by wanting to consume it, by choosing to take it off of them, whether that's for free or not, someone else on the other end of that is going to exploit the animal directly because of the demand that you have created.
For the demand that I've created, no.
Yeah, because you're choosing to buy or take the flesh of animals, and the only reason that flesh is there in the first place is because people like yourself want to eat it.
Yeah, because that's how I've been raised.
Yes,
Oh my God.
you keep saying this thing about being raised that way, and I've acknowledged that most of us were raised that way, but I'm sure you can acknowledge that we don't do all of the same things that we did as children, right? We grow up and we learn things about the world, and we
Can I
decide.
ask a question, Andrew, over Dave? Do you think that the fact that you were raised this way, it makes it right?
Well, being that my family been farming for generations, why do I feel the need to change what's been?
No. I'm not asking you if you feel the need to change. I'm asking you, do you think that since you were raised this way, or because you've been doing it for generations, then that means it's right? In other words, just to be
I
clear,
don't see a problem.
I'm asking
I
you.
don't see a problem with farming animals and
But do you
farming
think it's
grain to feed
possible?
your animals.
So what I'm asking you, do you think it's possible that something that somebody has done for generations, or that they've been raised in one way, it's possible that it can be wrong even though they've been raised to do it, or that they've been doing it for generations?
No, because I don't think you guys see what
No.
actually goes on.
No,
And
it's
I
not
don't.
possible for somebody to get things wrong, to be raised in a wrong way, or for them to be doing it for generations.
Well, I don't. This whole vegan thing has only come out in the last, say, 50 years, maybe.
Yeah, so
Whatever
Dave,
it is.
it's pretty clear to me that you lack abstract thinking. Like we were trying to implement a simple abstract concept. Take away the veganism, take away anything else. But I simply ask you right now, is it possible that somebody was brought up doing something and that they did that for centuries, or they did that for generations? The question was, is it possible that that person is doing something wrong even though they were brought up doing it, or they've been doing it for generations?
I don't know. I can't answer that question
Because you lack abstract thinking.
how am I meant to answer that question? Because that's
Simple. Yeah, it's possible. We've had examples of that throughout human history. For example, women didn't have rights is one example. For example, people of a certain skin color were enslaved. That's another example. We have several examples of injustices that not only happened, but they continued because of people like you, because of people who said, "I grew up doing it, and we've been doing it for generations. Therefore, it must be okay." This way of thinking, Land Rover Dave, does not progress humanity in absolutely any way. Because if everyone just does what everyone else has done in the
Can I
past,
just hold
then we can
you there
never
a minute?
improve. So all you're here to do is just peddle some form of misinformation and say that you treat your animals right or something, but you're not actually here to think. You're either incapable to think abstractly, or you're not actually here to think. So which one is it, Land Rover Dave? Are you intentionally not trying to actually think about this subject, or are you incapable of thinking? And no shame if you are incapable.
No, I am thinking about it because this is why I'm here to talk to you. In this fact, I want to see why. I'm not against whatever. You can do what you like. That's your personal choice.
Well,
And
we're
I'm not.
against what you're doing, Land Rover Dave. I stand with my whole body against every single thing that you're doing for money. You are bringing into existence beings who have an experience of life, who feel love, who feel anxiety, and you know they feel all that, because if you are doing that, then you've seen them feel that way. And you are taking these beings and saying, because you are born this way, because I was taught that you are born this way, it's okay for me to unalive you, to treat you like a resource, simply
Can I
because
ask you
of
one
how you were
question?
born. I stand firmly against what you're doing, Dave, and I do not respect what you're doing. So I
Okay.
hope that you
Can I
change,
ask you one
because what you're
question?
doing is oppressive, and people in the future will look back on you and say he was a barbarian, because that's what
Okay.
you're doing now. It's barbaric, and it is
Can I
useless.
ask you a question?
Sure.
Do you eat bread?
Do I eat bread? No. I mean,
Oh my
sometimes,
god.
yeah.
What
What
where
does bread have to
where is
do?
this going?
Well, you can
Yeah.
thank me and all the other farmers out there for growing the
Oh,
wheat
I'm
and
sorry, Dave.
farming land,
Just to be
which is
clear, Land Rover Dave, I respect you for farming plants. Hell, I will kiss your legs for farming plants. Dave, I will send you right now 5 fruits and a little bit of a plastic thing that will say how much I respect you. But
right. So
I
in
will
that
not
aspect, what
respect
you
you
just said,
farming animals. I do not respect you farming animals. I hope you understand that that's the
right?
issue
So
here.
yeah, but this is what you're failing to realise. We don't just do it the meat and for meat and
You do it for
products
money.
or whatever. We do the whole range. So like not
Yeah,
every
but don't do,
farm is the same.
Dave, we don't have a problem with you farming plants. We have a problem with you farming animals. Stop farming animals. Farm the rest. Stop farming animals.
Okay, and then are you going to pay? Where do you get? Okay, you get your money from working or whatever, right? Let's say whatever your job is. Are you going to pay extra for your products of whatever your diet consists of? Whether
It's cheaper to be on a plant-based diet, Dave. We have studies, and you know that. You know it's cheaper because in order to feed the animals, you have to either buy food or grow food. So we can just grow food directly for the humans instead of doing all that.
I was helping a friend out on their dairy farm, and is it tofu that's made out of soybeans? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the leftover product from soybeans goes into.
Oh, Dave, not at all. In fact, that's factually false. I know you maybe really want to believe that, but in the reality, a lot of the soy that we actually grow for other reasons other than food. But when it comes to food specifically, most of the soy we grow as animal feed. It is true that the leftover from animal feed we use for humans, because soy is in everything today. It's not in vegan products only. You know that if you knew a person who is allergic to soy, you know how difficult of a time they have, because soy is in absolutely everything. Because we create soy oil, we create all of these things. Yeah, I fail to see this, Dave, because you as a farmer should know better. I mean, I know it's hard for you to admit it, but you should know better. You know that it would be way more efficient to just grow plants.
Go into animal feed.
Yeah, sure, Dave. But do you acknowledge that it would be more efficient to just grow crops to feed to the humans?
That's a very.
Dave, you've gone very quiet.
Sorry.
I think I'm done with this. I think he's disingenuous.
Yeah, let's move on because we've got 15 minutes left, and I was done a long time ago. I think it was
That's
just
also why I mentioned
the lack of abstract thinking. So I just didn't have the patience. Right, who we got? Jack, are you over 18?
Hello?
Are you over? What year were you born?
2008.
Don't think so. Sorry, you sound very young. Let's try Vanilla Ninja. Yeah, I don't buy it. Vanilla Ninja.
He was lying. If he was born in 2008, he wasn't over 18. He was 18. So.
I mean, maybe if he was born like in January, or he would be he would have just turned 18, right? Or this year. Vanilla Ninja, are you over 18? Hello? I'm not receiving any sound. Feel free to request back up, but yeah, we're going to try and move on because we're pushing for time a little bit. Okay, that didn't accept. Let's try Pete. Sometimes this happens towards the end. You have people who've requested and then they've swiped past, so they just drop. Oh, here we go. Pete, are you over 18?
Hello?
Hi, are you over 18?
Oh. Yes,
Okay. Pete, what is your understanding of veganism? Pete, there's a bit of a delay, or I can't hear you. I don't know if there's a lag or. Are you there? Pete, I'm going to drop you, but feel free to request back up. Wake up, Pete. Pete! Maybe I should have shouted louder. Okay. SUFC, are you over 18?
Yes, love.
Okay. What year were you born?
Doesn't sound like 18.
Sounds like somebody putting on a voice.
2001.
No, I don't think so. 2001. I should have asked how old. So how old would that make you? And then force them to do some maths. Damn, that would have been a good opportunity.
That would have been great.
You were born in 2001, okay? And how old are you? Bobby Keith, I'm trying to accept you. Sabzi. Yeah, blew it. I've got a couple more requests I'm just trying to accept, but sometimes it does this at the end of the lives for some reason. So I want to end on a good one. Who is an open, honest person? Because I'd love to end on a good conversation. Blank, are you over 18? I can't hear you. You sound like you're underwater. Feel free to request back up, but I wasn't getting anything. I don't know if it's... I don't think it's me, because I've been hearing other people fine. Let's try Pete again. Pete, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What's your understanding of veganism?
Well, from watching previously, it's to avoid exploitation of animals.
Yeah, that's right. Do you think that we should be respecting other animals?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. And do you think that we can truly respect them whilst at the same time using them as our resources?
Yeah, I think that's possible.
Okay. So if you were being exploited in the same way that other animals are, so for your flesh, for your skin, for your reproductive organs, would that be respectful towards you?
It depends on the circumstance.
Well, I've just given you them. So you're being exploited needlessly in the same way that you're exploiting other animals. Is it respectful?
Well, if I was finished living...
No, you're not finished living. So you're at a small portion of your lifespan.
Oh, no, Then no.
Okay. So why is it respectful to do that to other animals then? But it wouldn't be respectful to do it to you? I'm just trying to find out why the difference in view.
To do it to other animals.
Oh, you said that we can respect them whilst exploiting them at the same time. Have you changed your position on that?
Yeah, if you wait until they're done living.
Yeah, but that's not what happens, and that's not possible. What do you mean, like, wait until they've done living? Yeah, like these industries are businesses, Pete. If we waited until a cow was 25 years old, until they were on their deathbed to unalive them, to eat them, it wouldn't be financially viable for the beef industry. They would lose a lot of money. They would spend more money feeding them over the duration of their lives than the amount that they would get back.
I think it would be.
You think it would be? Do you know how much it takes to raise an animal? How much do you think it costs to raise a cow? And how much do you think that they would get in return for that?
I'm not sure what it costs, but it could definitely be done more efficiently.
But
it would
Pete,
just require allocating.
But Pete, the question, even if it could be done in a different way, the way it's done right now is we bring animals into existence, as we use them as babies, and then we unalive them. Are you okay with that?
Well, I don't think that's respectful.
Okay.
Why pay for that?
Pay for
yeah.
Yes, I currently do.
Do you recognise the contradiction there?
No, I don't.
So you've said that we should respect other animals and that it's not respectful to exploit them and to take their lives as babies, yet that's exactly what you're supporting. So do you acknowledge that there's a contradiction in your belief system and your actions.
Well, it's possible to just forgo your beliefs, like, until something better arises.
Yeah, but do you acknowledge that there's a contradiction there, because you're essentially supporting something that you've said you were against? You've said that it's not respectful and that they should be respected.
Well, if that is a contradiction, then...
Well, of course it's a contradiction. You're acting in a way that's going against your own morals.
And Pete, when you say you acknowledge that there's a contradiction, we don't just mean in the abstract sense. The thing is that as a result of your contradiction, there are innocent animals who are individuals being exploited in your name, right? So it's not just, oh, there's a contradiction. There's a contradiction and it is having consequences for the lives of others. Do you acknowledge that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So do you feel there's anything that would stop you from living vegan and leaving other animals alone?
Well, it would be my desire to consume animal products.
Okay. Yeah, so do you feel like taste pleasure is a good moral justifier for exploiting someone else?
Well, morality is subjective, so...
Yeah, so, sorry, Ewan's asking about your subjective opinion.
My subjective?
Mm-hmm.
If it's done in accordance with, like, the hypothetical scenario that I produce, then yes.
But do you acknowledge that in the current situation, that's not what's happening, and that we're not existing in that hypothetical? We're talking about the very real life scenario that animals are having to go through on your behalf. So you said that so you're suggesting that if in the situation that is actually happening, where innocent animals who are nowhere near the end of their natural lifespan are being exploited because of you, then do you feel that there is anything that should motivate you to want to change that and live in alignment with your values?
Well then, yeah, so what I'd have to do is change farming practices that allow them to live a complete life.
Well, the thing is, there's another... So you said, like, that you thought... So the main reason you're doing it is for the taste, right?
No, I never said that.
Well, you said it with your...
If we go down that route, then you're going to ask questions that I can't answer.
Well, that's why we're here, is to, to scrutinize each other's beliefs. You can do the same for us. And
no, it's not about that. I don't have the knowledge to answer the questions, because what will happen is I'll say it's not based on taste, it's based on health, and then you'll tell me the reasons why being vegan is healthier, and I won't be able to dispute that.
Okay, yeah, well, that's yeah, of course. Well, the thing is, we can, tell you objectively that science supports fully that living on a plant-based diet is totally healthy. And the thing is that you can go away and then look at that research, but you can hopefully just trust us when we say that is true, and then you can go and, as you should, scrutinize that for yourself. But okay, so we know that it's healthy. So if that's not stopping you, and if you agree that desire is not a good moral justification, doing that to them, then what is the obstacle right now from you living vegan and leaving those animals alone?
Well then nothing then. If
nothing,
those
okay.
Two boxes are ticked.
Okay, so are you vegan from now?
Well, no, because I don't believe what you're saying about it being healthy.
Right, well, I mean, the thing is that, it's not about necessarily what I'm saying, it's about what experts say, who know far more than both of us. And this is something you can quickly discover on a Google search and quickly...
No, you couldn't...
I don't want to get dragged into, like, a health debate, because neither of us are nutritionists, I'm assuming.
Exactly, so let's leave that alone then.
I'm a nutritionist.
Okay, but...
Right, okay.
So you can be healthy on a plant-based diet. You can either trust a nutritionist, or you can trust the empirical data, or you can trust the experts. You can be healthy on a plant-based diet. You can have a great time on a plant-based diet. And in all fairness, we're not trying to capture you, put you in a corner and be like, see, now you gotta be vegan. We understand people have to make this decision on their own. Obviously, you can't be forced into this decision. I hope you understand that. But what we're trying to show you here is that there's no good argument against it. And really, you should probably be vegan because you wouldn't actually be missing out on anything. I'm a foodie. I love food. I will snack and eat food all day long. I will move and just so that I can eat more. In fact, there's been days when I ate 1,000 calories more, and then I went on a treadmill and I burned another 2,000 calories
Can you
just to
stop,
eat
please?
more. So it doesn't really matter. You'll enjoy your food. So why exactly wouldn't you choose?
I know, but
Wouldn't you?
can you please stop trying to feign familiarity to like push your
I'm just
agenda?
trying. Sure, but Pete, I'm not pushing my agenda. I'm fighting for the rights of animals. I'm telling you here, there's
Right,
no
but
need to oppress
that is your
animals.
agenda.
Sure, but there's no need to oppress animals. So why choose to oppress animals, Pete?
Well, because I just see it as a
Okay,
short
Pete is
term.
disingenuous. It's pretty clear. Thank you, Pete, for admitting that you're disingenuous.
I don't know if we should try and get
I'm not
one
disingenuous.
more back. Yeah, I don't know. I ended it. I dropped Pete because I don't know. I didn't feel it was going anywhere.
Yeah, he was here to waste time. It's pretty clear. When people are saying push your agenda, it's pretty clear they're a waste of time. I think you should try one more, Jim. Just one more. Let's go.
Let's try one more. Baba. I don't know this person. Oh, hang on. I didn't accept them. I invited them. Cancel invitation. Yeah, we don't have any more requests, I don't think. I've just got the list of viewers, and instead of accepting somebody, okay, we've got one more now. I invited them instead because it's like the same red button. Let's try this last one. 13 Gub. And hopefully we can end on a good one. Even though sorry, Baba. I thought, hey, are you over 18?
Maybe.
No, I'll take that as a no. Okay, well, that's that then.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think you would know if you're over 18 or not. But yeah, I think we'll end it there. We did have a good one earlier. It's nice to end it on a good one, but I don't know. If there's no one here who's genuine and who is willing to have an honest discussion, then yeah.
It was so bizarre with Pete because he actually just kind of, acknowledged his contradictions and said certain things that he should doing, and then just says that because he can't verify whether it's healthy or not, that he's just going to avoid everything else. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's like I can't verify whether it's healthy or not, so therefore I'm going to do this option even though I can't verify it. But you're still choosing this option.
I suppose I probably should have done that thing where I said, okay, wave a magic wand, it's healthy. You've done a Google search after this call, and that's fine. Will you live vegan from now? Kind of thing.
Yeah, we could have done that.
I probably that's what I'll do next time.
I mean, what was his name again? Was it Pete?
Yeah, it was Pete.
Pete, if you're still here, I would urge you, would you be willing to watch a documentary? Because at the very least, we have, I have a link here, so we have Dominion there. Would you be willing to go away and educate yourself? Because I know you are making some claims I think that it's possible to financially and viably raise an animal and then wait until they're at their maximum lifespan. I think there's a lot that you could maybe learn and educate yourself on if you're willing to. So which I think you should. I think that everybody has the moral obligation to at least know what it is that they're supporting. So but I think we're gonna leave it there. But I think although we only had one person who did go vegan, it's still been a really good live stream. And I just want to say also thank you to you. And I don't think you've ever done these live streams before, but you're awesome. So and obviously Chip as well, and Tano, I don't want to forget you two. I'm just saying, giving a special shout out to you. And
I will definitely, if I've got a Tuesday evening off work, then I'll be here to help out.
Awesome.
If this was your first time, you did really well, even. So.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've done lots of street outreach, so I kind of just do the same sort of stuff. But yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, we'll end it there then. So I'm gonna leave on TikTok.
YouTube, become members of Jam. If you don't become members of Jam, I will cry. I will start crying right now. So you don't want me to cry, just become a member.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chip.
Guys, I've got a question that I asked the other day also on Chip Live, because I live in Barcelona, Spain, and it's kind of become like the subject that everyone is kind of talking about right now, because we did a post about it with some other activists, and we're talking about pet food, plant-based pet food. So especially you, Jem, that I know that you have a dog. What's your take on that?
I think that we should be feeding our pets plant-based foods, obviously nutritionally complete plant-based foods, so they're still getting all of their dietary requirements. So my dog eats Omni, which is a brand that we have in the UK. It's all nutritionally complete, and I'm not exploiting other animals on her behalf. So I think as the guardians of these animals under our care, we have the moral duty to make moral choices in that aspect as well. And yeah, same goes for cats. I know it can be more difficult and complicated with cats, but hopefully, nice moustache and hat. Thank you. Hopefully we're going to get some solutions to that soon, such as
I have two cats, and I give them I gave them Ami cat, and now I'm giving them veggie animals. So because we got a lot of hate and a lot of aggression from the community itself. Because
I don't understand that, because it's like, so people are mad that you're feeding your cat a certain diet, but then they're not mad if you pay for another animal to be exploited and to be unalive to feed your cat. So what's worse, like being fed something that maybe they don't prefer as much, or being exploited and unalive to feed someone else? I don't know. I don't understand that position.
We need a bit of perspective, I think. It's weird when, quote unquote vegans say that, because I'm just a bit like, you can't really be thinking about this from the animal's perspective, because sure, the cat might not like it as much, but it's a small price to pay in comparison.
But my cats love it. I mean, I don't have any issue with that. But the thing is that we got so much aggression and so much hate, and it's just like, when I talk to them, it's just like talking to non-vegans. You're getting the same kind of arguments, like, but what about the health? But what about if you are in an extreme situation? The other day, a guy brought up the polar bears, and we're like, why are you talking about polar bears? We're talking about dogs and cats,
Yeah. I don't know.
It's great, guys, that you think like me,
I think that people have like an emotional attachment to their companion animals, and for some reason I don't know, I think that it kind of messes with their ethics. But yeah, guys, if you wouldn't unalive or exploit your pet to feed another animal, why would you do the same thing to a cow or a pig or a chicken, who are just as sentient, who matter just as much, obviously?
The alternative is there. One thing I struggle with is that two of my friends are vegan, but they don't have enough money for vegan cat food, because it is more expensive, I think. And so they do, unfortunately, feed their cat other dead animals. And it's a tricky thing that I'm like, well, if you can't afford it, what else can you do, really? I wouldn't know what to say in that kind of scenario.
I don't think it's that much more expensive, but I don't know, maybe in the UK it's more expensive. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't take care of a cat, so I'm not sure. But I think where that option is available, I think it's a pretty important financial investment to not.
Because even if it's more expensive, that wouldn't justify to exploit other animals.
Well, I think that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, maybe there are some other areas where they could save money, or a subscription that they could cancel or something to make room to, I don't know, spend more money on that. I'm not sure, but
well, it's like you said, Tanner. I mean, it's like it can't be that much more expensive.
Yeah.
Maximum like another £8. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, in an ideal situation, we would have these products readily available, and they would be just as affordable. But yeah.
And also, there's another thing. I mean, from a market point of view, you know, we as vegans, we have to push to demand those products, because the more we push to demand them, the more offer there's going to be, the lower the price is going to be, you know?
The more study, because a lot of people won't do it until they've got like some kind of 100% bulletproof nutritional data that shows that it is healthy. I don't know if that's somewhat lacking with vegan cats at the moment, or plant-based.
All the studies that are out there at the moment, and they're quite recent, done by Andrew and I and Sarah Dodd, are projecting the fact that a plant-based diet is as equal or more healthy for cats and dogs.
Yeah, well, that's all I would need. That's all I would need.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good point that, we really need to invest in these products, because companies aren't going to make products unless they know that there's a demand for them, right? So
exactly.
I think it's an important point, you know, it's got to start somewhere, and we can only thank the vegans or, you know, people before us who have consumed plant-based products as to get to where we are now. So that's the only reason why we have all of the food that we have available, because of them. And it's the same for dog and cat food. So we need to be the leaders in that and creating the demand for people in the future. Anyway, okay. Well, I am going to go now, but before I go, I just want to say go follow Tano Vegan, Ewan, is it Vegan Nuisance? And that chip guy.
I wouldn't bother following me on TikTok, probably just on Instagram, because I don't post on here really, but
okay. Instagram.
I will follow you on TikTok. I'm a rebel.
I already follow you.
Yeah,
Cool.
I followed you as well. Sorry. Shall I unfollow you now? I'm just kidding. Who thinks that Ewan should start posting on TikTok?
Let's go. Yes, post.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, if you post on Instagram, yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, that's true. I haven't gotten into like a regular thing of posting like actual videos, but I'm starting to think I probably should.
Yeah. Well,
I got the last one I did though got a lot of hate though, because I posted something to do with I basically made a bit of a jab at like the at the hypocrisy of people who are, you know, like pro-choice but not vegan, and I talked about like, and oh my god, I mean, it's had so many consequences for me at work. Like people have like unfollowed me and said like, complained to my boss saying like his views are too extreme. He's comparing women's rights to animals' rights, and yeah.
Oh no, I don't know what's that got to do with your work? Like that's your, I don't know. We should all be able to have a voice without. I mean, unless obviously what you're saying is like detrimental to your job or the people that you work with.
No, it was kind of just appealing to kind of the fact that, yeah, like the basic idea of pro-choice is that kind of you have self-determination over your own life, and to then say to animals, well, fuck you though, is just like blatant. But then it was just like, you're a man, don't ever say that. And I was just like, I know I'm a man, but also guys, let's look at the actual point here.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry that happened, but I don't know.
I think that's part of being an activist, and not be afraid to, you know, make some waves, really.
You will always get criticized no matter what you say.
Yeah, it's true. You are right about that. Yeah, well, I'll post on TikTok. I'll put it on the agenda.
Cool. Yay. All right, awesome. Okay, well, I'm going to head off then, but yeah, it's been great, and thank you again, panel members, and anyone who's been in the chat as well, and I'll be back next week and hope to see you again there.
Thank you, Jem.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Right, that's done then. Let's see, 1K viewers. Okay, that's all right. Better than last week. 26 new followers, not too bad. Okay. And for, I don't know what anything else means. Or we did get a restriction, but, oh, and look at this. I don't really explore this very much. Most gifts. Chip guy. Chip. W Chip. Oh, I've got 3 new fans. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't really know very much about TikTok. Engaged guests. Vegan news. Okay, panel members. Let's go. Most watch time again, panel members. Awesome. Well, yeah, it's been good. Now I'm just going to address YouTube. Yeah, so apologies for the blip that we had earlier. I'm just glad that I was managed to get it back running again, and I didn't freak out and have a meltdown. Oh my god, it stopped working. I still have quite a lot of tofu, but I did over produce it because I thought, well, I can eat it throughout the week, whatever I have left over. So I think the most was the first guy. But yeah, thank you so much to anybody who stuck around. Yeah, I hope it's been entertaining for you. Thank you to anybody who's helped moderate and who's kept the chat safe. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Jason. It says you've been a member for 3 months, or you've signed up to be a member for another 3 months. I'm not sure. Either way, thank you, W. Jason. Cool. So, yeah. Leftover tofu never lasts. It goes in. I thought you were going to say that it goes bad too quickly. These vegans are so cringe. Okay, let's translate that. People who are against animal exploitation are so cringe. It's so cringe to be against animal exploitation. I've started drinking my own blood for B12. I'm laughing because I assume that's got to be a joke. Yeah, Ewan was very good. Very good addition to the panel. It was a good panel today. Not that it's not normally a good panel. It's always a good panel. But yeah, I think everybody complimented each other. So, okay. Yeah, another day at the races. Well, and well done everyone here. It's not just me and the panel, it's everyone as well. All of you guys on YouTube, everybody who stuck around, all of the views, it helps push it out there. It helps bring people over to the TikTok as well. And you guys are always in the chat, always in the comments, doing activism as well. So, I feel like we're all a big team and we're all in this together. And yeah, we're all making it happen. So yeah. Right. Okay, well, I'm going to head to bed then and get some sleep. And yeah, hopefully have a productive day tomorrow. I've got loads of content to work on. Yeah, so I need to have a productive day tomorrow. All right, cool. Well, yeah, best community ever. Right, I'm going for real now. Team Gem. Team Gem Lettuce. Team Lettuce Gang. We're all in this together. So yeah. Okay. All right, well, see you next week, everybody, hopefully, and I hope you have an awesome rest of the week and weekend, and I'll catch you soon.